Hello everybody, it's your Wonderful Wind Mage, your Cruz Ship servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service now. How is everybody doing today? Let me get rid of that pixel at the top because TLDR, it was supposed to just be a nice chill stream with me talking with D3 about card balance and everything like that, or like favorite cards, as he's tier listing out attack defense cards and everything like that or so. So I was just gonna casually give my input, but they are currently having problems with that right now. So instead, we're just going on with our normal side. Thank you everybody for your patience. I hope you all are doing well. Austin, Lucy, Rena, Zuri, I hope everybody's doing good tonight. It is a Thursday night, November 6th. I can't believe it's almost the weekend again, and I can't believe I have 2 weekends off in a row. That is so nice. I'm so happy. But yeah, I was thinking about doing some Lost Branch of Legend, just chilling, talking, catching up, and everything like that or so, and just hoping for the best. Now, D3 may come around later, but for now, let's have a good time. And for you, Lucy, get your rest if you need to, because once again, thank you so much for the art. You keep saying it's gifts, but I am going to catch you by Christmas. Mark my words. Anyways, then, I hope that y'all get to chill out, and, well, yeah, let's chill, let's catch up. I need to talk about plans and everything like that or so, but first, let's get some makeup on and everything. Let us, not so Nanaka, let's just get Red Ramu going, and just chill, yeah? Chill with some L7. Only gift? Well, I'm only gifting you that then, smile. But there may be plans in the future. Do keep your schedule open around December, please, if you would. Like, and I'm saying that legitimately, keep that in mind. Wink. But yes. So, let's talk, because we haven't had a good heart-to-heart in a while, everybody, since I've only been doing a lot more cerebral games when it comes to it here. All money for random rares, so 10 bucks for a random rare, as always, with Reimu. Udonge! Give me the power. We absolutely want to, like, spur for an elite ASAP with that, then. Also, I forgot that booster packs are a mechanic that you can enable when it comes to it here, because we've been because of the new modding scene and everything like that, so I need to remember that. But anyway. Going on to things, I hope that everybody has been well enough. Life has just been going for me, not necessarily bad in a sense or so, it's just, once again, like, going in a more general sense. I forgot that your type buster deals damage twice. I need to get stocked on how this game works again, because it's been a while. Comms are always open. Well, yeah, but we'll just, like, Funny and I are maybe looking towards you for the future. Just saying that outwardly, dearie. You know? If I deal 8, I'm not gonna burst through, so I might as well just go this one Kadama, and I'm just gonna have to take the 5. I mean, Yin Orb will get me, up to 68, so I'm only taking 2 overall then, so not a big deal. But anyway. What are big things to really note? October's coming around. October is already said and done and whatever. I already had my wonderful time with Halloween and everything like that. If I can get maybe like free flies or anything like that, would be great. Pagoda's Glare has new art. It is cute. Persuasion, Talisman of Dreams ain't bad at all, I must say though. I do like Great Duplex, but I need to push damage early, so let's go ahead and take Persuasion Needle since I can always hold that over. It's 3 times, right? Versus, what is essentially 12 damage for 2. Yeah, absolutely, because that is way high. The fact that I can retain it over means that it's a little bit higher priority than a Yokai Buster, in my opinion. Take no damage this fight, then I'm going back up to full health, because that's only 2 damage I'm taking. So I'm at net plus 6 means that I'm 2 over what I'd really need to survive and everything like that. So we're actually chilling, straight up. But with November coming around, I am looking at what my family plans are, and besides Thanksgiving, I shouldn't necessarily have too much that's going to stop me from being able to do all the fun stuff that I'd want to, of course, when it comes to doing stream-wise, or even like cosplay work and everything like that. So we will I mean, I'm not really gonna get around this any other way. So we will see what I can do for the fun activities and maybe going back to my skits and all. Or of course, I've got a lot on my docket when it comes to preparing for things like Christmas gifts and all. As fast as jokes with you, Lucy, I do have big, very big plans come Christmas. But it's gotta keep working stuff away. I think I'll take another Yokai Buster, honestly. Just because I want to power through this elite depending on who I get. Yeah, if it's 3 Fairies of Light, then that does kind of suck a lot of life out of me here. But I have to kill Star Sapphire no matter what, because I would have liked AoE, in which case Pagoda's Door would have been good. But can't be too picky about things. Cannot be too picky about things. Because I'm always floating the mana and I'm retaining the Persuasion Needle, I legitimately don't need to spend in case the one that's to float means that I can block another. And then we start working down Sunny first. Because I don't mind losing the mana that I'm gaining from the Quiet Moonlight. I'm worried more about the damage that I would be taking otherwise then. I don't know why I weakened both when I probably should have just bursted down Luna then. You said fits it. There you go. There you go.
Didn't expect that.
Ooh, watching mode with your Tom. Oh, absolutely, because we are looking for a Christmas time limit when it comes to it. Again, that'll come in time. That'll come in time, dearie. Ho ho, Jazz. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I'm probably just kill her all in one go here, because I have all the mana for it too. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But yeah, lots of stuff planned. I've got a huge project, I will say, coming up then. Divine Favor. Firepower or Spirit, which would be very nice, I'm not gonna lie. Above the Realm is always really funny though, and I am not gonna pass that up. Randomly. Koishi! Koishi with Red Reimu. Would be interesting. I feel like I'm still confident enough to take another lead. I don't think I have the money for really more than one card or so I'd rather just take the Gap upgrade. Let me shout you out, though. How are you doing, though, Jazz? How are you doing? What were you playing? Total War 3 Kingdoms is what it says that you were doing last. Okay, well, Dreadful Raging Waves is already so much damage as that's dealing it to both of them. Because the Rabbit is already almost gone, and then since I Persuasion Needle, I can actually float that over. So I'm only really losing health to the Doll of Nerdum, which honestly is not the biggest deal breaker in the world here. Yeah, just block this. Go ahead, hit her one more time. That Persuasion Needle is guaranteed to kill almost then. Even if I get weakened, I can just get another shoot or amulet, and then yeah, we chill. So I can do that. That's perfectly fine. They just don't want to be weakened again. Just a lot of damage that I'm taking then. Got how long loading between battles takes? Ooh, yikers. Oh my god, yikers. I feel that right there. So I drew a small shot, but that's just only one poison I'm taking anyway. Not the worst ever. I do need to actually supplement better defense in my deck though. Blot Reflection. Spell card duel is affected by firepower. I mean, honestly, it's just a blot, which I would rather take right now. Mystia. Give me the life, sister. Pay, because we support good local economical business here. Now, Above the Realm costing 1 only is kind of nice. But I think, yeah, Spell card duel becoming barrier, because it's not going down from a 3 cost, which cost isn't as bad with Udonde, but point stands there. Stuff to finish. Okay, look. There's a lot of stuff to of course look at for the future. So come on now, girl. Don't look at it. Don't fuss too much about it. I also should have spent the mana to get rid of one Knight in my hand. Real here. If I do this, I'm only gonna hit her once. I'd rather just keep floating so I have a huge ass mana pool before she finishes the interview next turn. I mean, I really like Homing Amulet because since it's accurate, that gets past your Drays automatically, and I can just really wear Aya for a lot of damage to start. That's honestly a really good first turn to get her down half. And okay, yeah, she did finish it, but I can at least buffer through part of the problems here. Not all of them, mind you. I can get through a little bit. I still like to keep floating though. There's mostly archers. I don't really have a deadline. Less stuff I have to finish, more time after working your model. Yes, girl. Yes, and everybody loves to see model work now. Smile. Reflection's actually really good too, because it just gets through the Drays. Didn't really timer scam Aya too, if it really came to it. But we are actually fine. Didn't even take a spell card. Udonder lets me have the perfect fight, and we chill. Dondo too. I have so much max HP, dude. For every 3 cards drawn outside the draw step, deal 20 damage to each enemy. I've never had this before. I really want to try this. That seems really, really fun. Hello? I do have Claude, but always start the quest line. Just gotta be done. Let's just keep going from here then. Okay, so these bats might be a little bit of a problem, I'm not gonna lie. If I apply weak to you... I'd just still like to take as little damage as possible, so let's float one, because even if I deal damage to you, I'm trying to get you at the bottom, you would just steal it back. If I do above the realm, I could potentially have something done. It's that, or Fantasy Seal. Well, that's 5 mana, that takes everything, but... does a lot of damage right now, but no, they're grazing, so above the realm is much better. Pagoda's technically better, because if I upgrade my Dunmot protection, then that's immediate value, which is immediately wonderful. Now, it's gonna be another unfortunate float turn, so I can't really kill, and you're just gonna lifesteal that bat, but point stands. Future scaling, smile. Can I kill you? No, I cannot. Still a bit off. Alright. This blocked me up completely, but get you in lethal range. With one more strike. Plus, if I drop Pagodas again, then we're actually very fine. Otherwise, just straight up kill you. Gotta be done. Reflection, I'm at least gonna start wearing you down, and it's just only the last guy. I've taken more damage on the bats than I have on the elites, hilariously here. Which is annoying, to say the least. I mean, I don't have any other attack cards when it comes to it, but if they upgrade Precision Neos, then that is enough. That's what I was holding my breath on. Thank goodness gracious. I need Trumpet Solo, because that's another way for me to draw cards. If I just get all of the Prism River Sisters, it'd be great. You know what? Give me the rare. Akuri's Evilous Orbs. Get stronger, though. That stuff, yeah, but I only have 3 bots, so I can't upgrade it. No. Okay, well, I guess it is a T-turn then. It's me a buffer against Toishi, and then Orden as well, in essence. Above the realm. I mean, honestly, just deal the damage straight up here. I just need Orden, like, dead ASAP, though, because I'm not dealing with their BS. I'm at least holding on to Arturia's Evilist. But I need to kill, like, Orden, like, immediately right now. That's 45. Yeah, she's dead. Thank you, Evilist. You are wonderful. You are such a wonderful, wonderful card. Thank you, Cell Phone, too. This run's really stupidly good, I've got to say. Yin Yang Rune is pretty nice too, but Full Moon Howl is also really stupidly good. I do like Slice of Life, don't get me wrong here, but I take Full Moon because we still are Red Reimu, so just kind of get the chill. Now, making it too vulnerable is very useful. Because Evil is getting too more powerful, meaning you're scaling 6 damage, essentially. Every time you draw cards out is great, but I only have 2 ways to do that, which is out of these 2. So for now, I think a Full Moon Howl is just greater utility. Have to go to Evie, rest well, and thank you for all the love again, though. Thank you for all the love again. Let's go ahead and play Trumpet Solo because that gets a Courage Evil assist already. Before I look at Dragon Slaying Circle is actually so wonderful. And then your type Buster gets to hit twice and keep you weakened. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. And D3 is up and at him, so I'm gonna move them back in. Hello.
Hi, there we go.
How you do?
How you doing? Better now. Cool.
There you go. This run already seems kind of made. I have my win condition and everything here.
I saw the Odonge and I was like, oh. Wow.
I got Odonge and I just kind of have a, I just have a deck that's just gonna be, alright, full cycle, smile.
Yeah, no, it's still the first night, so like it's about as good a result as you can hope for, right? Like.
Yep. I would just need to keep drawing. I just need to keep getting draw engine because I have Arturia's Evil Orbs now, and the fact that I'm playing with Fantasy Seal Silence, which I've never seen before, means that this is only going to keep getting stupider and stupider.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Let's see. Properly. Oh.
I would say though, the only problem that I am running into is the fact that I have so overloaded on attack cards. I'm only on 1 block, and it is kind of biting me because I'm almost dead, hilariously.
Oh man.
But it's fine. It's fine.
Just win 4-head. It'll be okay.
Just win 5-head. Absolutely. And I should have Koichi dead to rights in just a little bit here. In just a little bit.
Right.
Holding my breath.
Let's see. I need to open up the collection. Yeah, bam, and then it just says attack. And voila, it works perfectly. Haha.
So anyway, I did intro what you were trying to do before you had to graciously bow out. So could you tell my chat what you are doing on your own side of stream and all?
Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cataloging a tier list for every card in the game. Now, hindsight tells me it would have been really, really smart for me to label these layers, huh? I might spend a little bit of time doing that before I go live.
Might have been nice.
Cause this is a lot of stuff. Trick of... And what I'm going to be doing is I already have things indexed and layered out, and so I think more than anything else, I'm just kind of vocalizing and recording why I think certain things belong where they belong on my little tier list here. And I don't really like those tier lists where it's just like S, A, B, because I don't think they really explain themselves very well, right? And I think they miss a lot of the nuance, especially on card games where it's like, it's incredibly easy to completely misrepresent how good a card actually is if you only consider it from a single perspective, right?
Yep. You get that, you get problems like people just saying, oh, don't worry, it's in the utility tier, and just completely hand-waving things otherwise when you really can't put it to that, for instance. So on and so forth.
Yeah, so I really want to emphasize, like, what cards can you take that will win you the run, basically no matter what? Like, you saw the card, you're going to win the run, period, right? What cards will make it like, okay, you saw the card, if the rest of your deck is even okay, you're probably gonna be fine. Which cards need setup? Which cards need a lot of setup? Which cards are just always there for you and just happy for you? Which cards do something that's not covered by literally anything else that's special to them? And then which cards are actually bad? I do think that unlike, let's say Slay the Spire, there are just fewer bad cards. It's a lot harder to have a bad card in Touhou Lost Branch of Legend.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna take forever. And you know what? Hold on. Counter-argument time. They can't see any of this anyways. They have no idea what any of this is if I zoom out, right?
No, unless you are... Well, you're streaming on your side first, right?
Yeah.
We
giving
need
you
to
a-
combine chats, so let me pull that up. We need
Yep,
to combine streams.
Invite sent.
Well, I don't have my Twitch up. I don't have OBS
Oh.
up, so I need to pull up my Twitch and go to my dashboard real quick.
Whoopsies.
Look at Cruzy. Go to your creator dashboard. But yes, join, what's his face? D3 side when it comes to it now, people, wonderfully so. Especially so, because, one, make great content. What, if D3 raises me up all the time on what's his face for all of their own stuff, then I need to raise them back.
Come on. Yeah, I'm currently in
Besides,
my
this is a chill stream. Chill stream, and for YouTube VOD people, you need to watch on that side. But we can participate in the conversation anyway.
Right, and then I forgot that Lost Crimes Legends sound was not coming through. Fixing? Fixed. Nice.
Joining.
Alright.
Yay! We're good.
Oh, nice.
They still need to find a way to integrate shared chat, though. For OBS, rather than me having to pull things up constantly, though. But we do wish it would be better.
No, it should be working now.
It should be. I'm just saying, so I don't want to pull up my stream manager on my Firefox and take up a little bit more of my space and everything like that now constantly, you know? I'm already streaming at a bitrate of 2,000. Please!
Yeah. Completely fair.
I'm just trying to click the join shared chat button on my side and it will not let me. Something went wrong. How well.
Well, they're already joined, that's why.
It's not showing up on my OBS, so whatever.
Wait, what?
Whatever.
Shared? Yeah. Some streamers aren't live yet. What?
I am live! Guys.
Am I live? Is it me? Yeah, no, it's I'm live.
Question marks.
Okay.
Multiple question marks.
God, I love Twitch. Okay. Okay, new plan. Oh, it says you're not even in the.
But I am! Ah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep. Action already taken. Okay.
Alright, what if I just leave the collab?
Wait,
And
are you using
rejoin the
Firefox?
Do I need to use Chrome?
You have to use Chrome, yes.
God! Okay.
Yep, there you are.
Oh, hold on. Oh, no. Okay, well, whatever. We're gonna take whatever we can get. Alright, I'm not gonna be too bothered by things here. I was just should have actually checked if I could kill that keystone with my persuasion needle first. Oh well.
Every time.
Oh well. I'm not gonna sweat it too much here. Kind of happy gaming right now, just chilling out, having myself a good time anyway.
Bit true.
Game
I'm going
van
to
again.
find it.
Okay, well, I mean, what's true in OBS? I'm trying to make sure that people can all have that fun and all. That is so many good stuff, but I need to have a block engine. I need to have a way to generate more mana is my problem. Oh well. I'll figure out that problem in time. I'll figure out that problem in time, I say. Go ahead and get rid of a red Menreki. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm getting all the love today, aren't I? Hello, Flair! I hope you're doing well. I'm playing Lost Prince Legend, Roguelike, Dead Roller, everything like that, chilling out with friends, of course. Hope y'all are doing well. It's Wonderful Wind Mage, Cruz Ship Captain, Chartreuse Proxy, everyone always at the service. Were you playing the remastered Zoya? Hey, yo, we love Zoya! Zoya's great! I already don't have any skill cards. Anyway, oh well.
Sure, buddy.
Anyway, nice argument, but million persuasion needles, go. Doing nice. Robots Dandy's World. I have no idea what that is. I've seen, like, Dandy's World in VR chat, but I have no idea what that is. I'll be honest with you. But I hope that you are chilling out, just doing well, and just thank you for all the love again now. For the last 2 streams been 1 minute though, there you go. Zoya is absolutely, well, actually no, Tales of Grace is F of is my favorite Tales of game, but Zoya is a lot of people's first intro to the Tales of series, rightfully so. So absolutely, all that fun love when it comes to it there. Anyway, my engine is basically online. I just need to find ways to survive, including this turn, so otherwise I think I might be dead this turn. Christ.
Nah, just win for it. Just win.
I already have no blots. I have to win this turn. That's 36 when it comes to it. I really don't think I'm gonna win. They might be over, Chief.
Oh no.
I went so far in on the offense line that it did not work out. Oh well.
Oh,
fine on. I mean, what? I did index very hard, but I kept getting cards that's like, it is the engine, quite frankly, to keep doing so. But I just did, like, I had the engine, but built nothing around the engine. Oh well. Oh, fun. Oh, it's been a month since I played this game anyway. I'm having my fun getting back into it.
Fair enough.
And Watch Friday rolls on, Zestria, Vesperia goes on. Yeah! And also, to be fair, like, you'd want to put those up, but it's JRPGs. You're gonna be playing those things for a long-ass time. Let's be real here, too. And also, to be fair, Zoya is like one of the few Tales of games that actually has a full-on sequel in Zoya 2. Now, I say that when Zestria and Berseria are right there next to each other, but point stands, point stands. Alright, another random. Hydrate handbag! Hello, lovely.
Oh, right. I need to think more carefully about what I record here. Huh.
Want to come and give some love and hope you are well. I hope that you are well too. We don't get to hang out too much. I think that's more just due to like circumstance of just we're both busy with our lives and everything like that or so. Because like on one end, I would have of course played more Drain Boy with you, but time got busy. I got busy. Way too much stuff is going on always in my life. So I'm not saying I can't necessarily be free of all guilt when it comes to it, but there's just been higher priority stuff when it comes to it. I just couldn't join you. I'm sorry. Darn it, I lost a 50-50. I could have killed a Tengu at 15 health, but I only had 14. I had to rely on a newspaper to donk him on the head.
Aw. Dang.
And I missed the 50-50 again. This sucks ass, dude. This fight's going longer than I wanted to go. I drew all my block cards last turn too, so I'm actually gonna come out of this fight health negative. This sucks. This is the first fight.
Dang.
I've taken
so
14
rough.
damage this fight, man.
Aw. It's just crows. It's just freaking crows.
It keeps getting worse. I'm taking a third of my HP on crows.
Oh no.
I'm already at 48 HP. I've lost 28 health to crows. And then I get Evil Exterminate immediately in the next turn as my reward. Screw you, I'm going double event. Hello, Eternity. Upgrade Evil Exterminate right now, please. Give me money.
What a crazy loadout. Dang.
Fine, hang on again sometime. Yeah! Take it easy though, and all the love, of course, when it comes to it, Flare. I hate taking 14 on from Star Sapphire immediately. At the same time, too, Luna cannot be allowed to live.
Yeah.
So I've got to send that immediately. If she lives, then they get 2 grades and all that barrier when it comes to it. And that legitimately cannot happen. So I've just got to immediately send that out. Wow, double block turn. It's nice, but getting both reflected sunlights on that really hurts. Taking so much damage right now, but I have to push. Because if I don't push, then I'm just gonna slowly drown to all the effects. So it's just gotta keep going, gotta keep going, gotta keep going. But granted, my playstyle when it comes to these games is absolutely a lot more fast and loose compared to any of our contemporaries. But I am of the matter of fact when it comes to if I have a big sample size of runs that I play, then I'm bound to win them eventually. Smile.
If I just blitz them down, it doesn't matter.
Now, to be fair, I also did just get Peony, which is actually gonna buffer my health like a lot. I'm gonna be real here. So this kind of keeps me alive.
The lack of punishment here is so real. What the heck?
Look, I took so much damage on the crows! I think I deserve every little bit I can get!
Oh, man.
Rest before it's Satya. Give me shop on this rotation. I am not taking that Acacia. Get that dirty-ass, rag-ass t-shirt out of here.
Oh, man. Absolute Bakushin. You're just living the Bakushin lifestyle right now, that's all it is.
Kind of am. We need to play a new scenario when it comes to it, I will say.
It's very pretty.
Pretty? That doesn't tell me anything more. Is it just pretty and that's it?
So, at a glance, there is a little bit more luck involved. In that, like, the high rolls are way higher. I think if you're trying to play for open, you'll basically still be using the URI finale. But if you're trying to play for graded with bad cards, I think for the first time, you have a very real shot. Because the numbers, it's kind of like they have extra friendship bonuses that are scattered throughout, right?
Yeah.
And you can build on those friendship bonuses over time, eventually to the point where like they're just as good as like a stacked up Kiyosan Black, right?
I need to interrupt you real quick to realize they changed the wording on Evil Exterminate from what I remember it being since the last patches. Shoot, that actually changes a lot. It used to be your next 2 attack cards are played twice if it's upgraded. Now it's in this turn. You can't carry it over as a buff to next turn if you don't use it all.
Wait, Cruz, why is your Fuji not working? Again!
Let me leave and rejoin the call, because since I did drag you over, that might be part of it. Try. Working? Yes, no, maybe so.
Nope. You're...
Okay, so let me do another thing. I'm giving you a collaborator role in this server here, so you should be able to see on air. We'll even join at your own pace.
Alright, got it.
There's a card that transfers the bonus, so, but I thought that was
it.
Evil Exterminate. Is it working now?
Yeah, it's working now. That was it.
Yeah, no. I keep dragging people all the time, so I already know the issue when it comes to it there.
Fair enough.
But hi, Crimson. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. No, yeah, that's interesting, because Evil Exterminate used to be just, you know, the best card because it moves your lineup for 1 mana when it comes to it. Now I actually have to think about it a little bit more.
Speaking of thinking a little bit more, hello everyone, welcome to the stream. My name is D3DamageMML, you all knew that already, and I'm following up on what Chris said earlier. So earlier I was in Cruz's stream, and now we're officially live on my own end, where I'm going to be doing a review of all of the attack cards today, right from black, green, white, blue, and all the pain in between. I have a categorization system that is going to be a little bit different from normal. I know many people prefer A through F or S through F. I don't. I try to be more specific with my language to try and help people understand what the hell I'm talking about, right? So, let's start from the top. Bomb, what does that word mean? That word means that if you play this card, the expectation is that you are going to win the run. That there is no other alternative. You have to fuck up pretty bad. Like, it's your fault if you lose the run, but you get this card, alright? That is the extreme definition of power, right? That is me saying that, like, you could trim your deck down to almost literally just this card and maybe 1 or 2 others, and you would win, right? That's what bomb means to me. Powerful means it has to be part of a deck. It will not win you the game on its own, but it is a very strong card. It's something you expect to win, help you win 9 times out of 10, but a bad roll or a bad hand can mean that you lose anyways. Combo and inconsistent are two sides of the same coin. They are questions of how powerful is a card and how much setup does it need, right? Combo assumes that the card is good in its own right, but is much better when it's part of a group of cards or a theme. Inconsistent means that the card needs to be in that theme to have any value. Then we have reliable, which is the assumption is that they are at least as good as the basic card that every deck starts with for an attack. Utility means that they do something special. That it's not just that they are strong, weak, or bad, but they have a very specific purpose in mind. They don't necessarily win you the run, but they do something that can help runs in very specific situations. And last but not least, bad. Bad means you are making your deck actively worse by including this card into your deck. And yes, we are counting spawn cards too. However, notably, whether or not knives are attacks is up for debate. we'll come back to that thought. With that in mind, though, I do think that Lost Branch Legend has done something magical that, like, its contemporaries like Slay the Spire have failed to do. Slay the Spire is loaded with bad cards. I would argue that in Slay the Spire, it is correct 9 times out of 10 to pass on almost every card option they show you. It's very much expected that, like in Slay the Spire, the card is bad unless you have a deck that's built for it, which means you need to see pieces ahead of time. That's not really the case in Lost Branch of Legend. You can get away with a much larger deck in Lost Branch of Legend than most other card games. That is at least in parts due to their colored mana system. The colored mana system means that the average card can be stronger relative to their cost compared to Slay the Spire. And so that net result of cards having casting costs and more complicated casting costs has meant that they can justify giving the player a little bit more wiggle room on tools. That means that it's very hard to make a bad card in Lost Branch of Legend. Not impossible, I did not say that, but difficult. So there's not going to be very many in here. There's a little bit of a preview that's happening on my screen right now.
I'm the background noise.
Sorry, Cruz.
I mean, look, this is chill when it comes to, quite frankly, this is an ad. I think just to the title, go watch D3 stream for what's going on. Smile.
If you want to see the cards in action, go watch Cruz. If you want to hear D3 make fun of talk about the cards, go to the D3 stream. We're a tag team here. Clearly, the best option would be a multi-stream, but we're not Picardo. Rough.
Smile.
Alright, so let's start off with the black cards because I think the black set has a very interesting grouping. I'm going to show you all a loose grouping that you can kind of see from like a bird's eye view. Roughly speaking, black has lots of powerful cards and lots of cards that have a very strong combo potential and very few cards that are super locked in on being in their combo. Many of the combo cards in black function just fine on their own. They're just better when they're part of the whatever archetype they're formulated on. So that means that black is actually a very aggressive color when it comes to its attacks. They often are very, very consistent. So as always, we need to start off with the best card in every set, the best card for every character, their basic attack card. 10 damage for 2 mana. This is of course a reliable card. Every other card in the game that says attack for its card type must be judged off of this card. Every character gets at least 2 copies of this. Some characters I believe get 3. They mention, depending on which part of the beta you're in and which what patch we're on, that changes. But most of the time, most characters have 2. Some of them will have 3.
We should note too that we are coming from a few different levels of expertise is the wrong way to put it, but experience here. I feel like I played Lost Branch more, and that's not to double down on D3's opinions, but I need to say this for your sake too, D3. You are also working off of a lot of your own runs being Jade Bots runs.
So, I'm going to be doing assumption. I'm assuming that you're doing a normal run, so that you don't get to pick what you get, right? So that's another assumption I'm going to be doing. So
okay, just wanted to put that out there for everybody knowing,
fair.
and because we have way different biases on different things, so much.
Oh yeah. Also, of course, this is not objective tier list, right? This is my thoughts and my feelings. I do think that I have a very strong tier list because of how I've categorized things, but it's perfectly possible to just I'm willing to be argued out of my position here. But I will say, Illusion Laser is probably, you're going to have a tough time calling Illusion Laser anything else than reliable, right? It is what it is the baseline for every other card that you're going to see. By default, your assumption must be if you pay 2 mana, you get 10 damage. In other words, 5 damage per mana. If a card does not do that, it must do something very cool for me to consider it at least as capable as Illusion Laser in the reliable tier. Which leads us, of course, to our first powerful, the Unstable Potions. There is a very reasonable argument to say Unstable Potions are one of the reasons why black is such an aggressive color, in particular if you're playing into Marissa. Now, what Unstable Potions are is that they're a 0 cost, so they're already doing really good, but they're slightly better than that because they are 0 cost that automatically get you a free prismatic mana. They deal 15 damage to a random enemy, which does need to be mentioned, and they also are accurate, so they can pierce through things like evasion. They cannot be grazed, and they also replenish themselves, so they automatically draw themselves a card. That is a powerful combination of text to put on your card, right? It can be mentioned if something says it gives you an unstable potion. It's a card you can probably take in almost any black deck. It's very rare for a card that gives you potions to be bad. And many cards do things that are also good on top of that. Many of the potion cards give you reasonable defenses or reasonable attack cards in their own right, and then also give you a potion. Or they give you multiple potions per turn, or a potion every turn. And this all kind of leads up into, like, yes, they are resource gated. You do need to play other cards in order to get potions. You can't just have freestanding potions in your deck, but you're almost always happy to see a potion. Do you have anything to say about that?
No, not necessarily. Only thing you have to consider when it comes to for potions is intentional versus unintentional use. Sometimes you just have black decks to where you're just kind of like, oh, it's just free push, and you're just kind of like free push, free way to trigger debuffs when it comes to it if you have certain ways to trigger that, or just free mana, versus ways that you are like potion value goes from good to excellent if you are trying to find your way for it, for scrying, for potion specific decks already on their own, versus just weaving it in. And the fact is, it's still like, even if it is nice to get potions as they are made, you are still deferring value for what they are in essence then. Because yes, we're talking attacks, but on the greater scale of craft potion, or anything that just generates potions on their own, you have to consider that on a scale of how tailored is it versus what is the value that you're getting for the 16 raw versus if you have any way to scale it or to scale firepower or anything like that.
Yeah, and I would definitely say that, like, in terms of card space, they're a little space expensive, but that's not really a concern in a lot of the times because they replenish you and, like, they give you mana. Like, it's often just not an issue. Right? You said it, you coined it, right? They're almost always a card that's good. It's just whether or not they're going from good to great, right? Which is why they're in powerful. And now I will say they are the bottom end of powerful. I do think there are lots of cards that are better than potions in black. And Crimson, you're actually keying in on something a little bit, and why they're at the bottom of powerful. There is a circumstance where you don't want the potion, right? Because the potion cards, some of the potion cards are awkward to have in some decks, especially ones that are indexing black. For example, if you're playing red-white Reimu and you're indexing potions in, they don't really do a lot for you, right? That you don't already do for yourself. Red Reimu in particular already has tools to improve her mana pool. She already has tools to improve her card draw. And she already has wonderful damage spells in red. So she often doesn't need something like the extra unstable potion. That being said, because they give you card draw, because they give you mana, you can basically almost always take a card if it says it makes you potions. Almost.
Because again, that is the immediate proposition we're putting out here of what are you getting out of potions otherwise? Because for exactly so for Reimu, the most you're getting is at that point then, all right, I guess extra firepower, but you kind of have to be working towards that already to begin with. Then if you already won.
Yep. Which leads to Satellite Illusion. This is not a special card. It is just a regular attack card.
If you could read it out for my stream side, though.
Yep, it is a 2-mana card, one neutral color and 1 black. It deals 14 damage to any target, and it adds 1 astrology to the hand. What astrology is a skill that is 0 cost, scry 3, draw a card. When you play it, it is exiled. However, you can retain it for as long as you want to, as long as you're not ready to overdraw issues, you can keep it in your hand as long as you like. It's good. Right? It's not powerful. It's not a card that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna win the run because I have Satellite Illusion in my hand. But it's really good. It's very much the top of reliable to me, where it is efficient. It does more than 5 damage per mana. It's even almost at it's almost at 1.5 value, right? Or double value, right? 14 damage. It gets better than that with an upgrade. I'm not going to mention upgrades very often. I'm going to assume that you don't always have room for them, right? At its upgrade, it becomes double value, though, which is worth mentioning, right? It's now twice as good as what a regular attack would have been. Also notably, you can Scry is good in almost any deck, right? It's very, very good to be able to filter through your cards, especially when astrology itself is free. There's a Magic the Gathering card called Oct. Oct is a 1-mana card that lets you scry 3 and draw a card, and many decks will play that card. This is better than that by a very wide margin, because not only does it draw you a card, it's free when it draws you the card, and you get to do selection, and you get to choose when to play it. You get to, if you don't want to play it right now, you can just hold on to it for later, because if you desperately want to be hunting through your deck because you want to find potions, you can keep it. I will say this does tend into the bottom end of powerful if you're in a potion deck. Specifically in a potion deck where you're trying to see your potions, you're trying to see as many potions as possible, and you're trying to fly through your deck, astrology becomes a lot better. Which makes, of course, Satellite Illusion a lot better. But not every deck is a potion deck. And so outside of those decks, it's just good.
Shimmy event with Miracle Mallet? I'm sorry. Yes! Upgrade all my basic blocks and attacks, please! The blocks have higher priority, but holy shit, Shimmy. This is This is amazing. Ever since because I really never put that much emphasis on Miracle Mallet. It's like, it's just the basic cards. I want to get them out of my deck eventually. But ever since I started taking it, I'm like, holy shit, why am I not taking this? You get so much damn value out of it.
Yeah, no, Miracle Mallet is good. Miracle Mallet is quite good when you start messing with it. Absolutely, I agree. What else we got? Oh, next up, Navigation Star. Navigation Star is a...
Actually, no, say Navigation Star, because I feel like I can pair both of these points together, actually.
Alright. Navigation Star is pretty straightforward. Deal 6 damage. When the player strikes, you return it from your discard pile to your hand. In a lot of ways, I look at Navigation Star and I look at Satellite Illusion and I go, oh, I love to have these cards together. But I'm never jazzed about Navigation Star on its own, unless I'm in a Scry deck, right? Which probably means I'm in a Potion deck, which means I'm probably happy to play this, right? It is free, which is worth mentioning. So 6 damage for free is above rate, right? That's well above rate. Again, a reminder that our average rate that we need to beat is 1 mana per 5 damage. So we're above that. And this is repeatable, right? If you have multiple sources of cycle per turn, you can absolutely crank out Navigation Star damage and do multiple Navigation Stars per turn. Especially if you have more than one. More than one Navigation Star goes really hard if you're into a Scry deck. But now you're hearing me say the word over and over again. Scry deck, Scry deck, Scry deck, Scry deck. How often are you in a Scry deck? In Black, I think you're in there pretty often if you're core Black. Namely, if you're playing specifically Marissa, or if you're playing specifically Koishi, you are frequently able to play Navigation Star to its full power. However, if you're not playing them, if you're playing literally anyone else and happen to be indexing into it, you might not have enough Scry in your deck in order to make Navigation Star pretty good. I put it as reliable because it's not backbreaking, right? There is a threshold where it becomes amazing, but to me that would make it like a high-end inconsistent card. But inconsistent makes it sound like it's a bad card without the Scry. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just an okay card without the Scry, which is why I put it at the bottom end of reliable. But what do you think, Cruz?
Again, for both when it comes to those, like, fact is, like, they are just what, like, the Spireheads and everything call like that, just basically enhanced strikes when it comes to strike with, because your baseline is just like deal damage. All of these are deal damage plus an effect, and it's just baseline at its worst for just a better strike, which you want to eventually get. Phase out all your strikes for your whatever stuff like that, your astrologies, your yin yang, whatever, your whatever, anything like that or so. That's just essentially how all those break down. And again, it's the difference in your deferred value out of the getting it. Because yes, you're saying with Scry, especially so, or the fact that it's an astrology going into your hands, so you can defer that later. Only times that's really a problem is for characters who care about you playing cards. So Seija, Junko, and Satya. Bosses, yes, but you probably already have an idea or a deck or something built around that at that point then.
Yeah, if you're playing into Navigation Star as a core damage source, and you're also looking at, oh man, what if I run into a card counter boss? Okay, well, you have another plan for that, hopefully, right? You're not just relying on Navigation Star, right?
In which case, then, those are fine, and quite frankly, like, a DPR, Dimensional Point Rift, is already something that exists too. And granted, it's red versus black, but point stands, you can have your fun with it. But for astrology, I'd say the biggest thing is that it helps you survive your early game, since it gets you a free way without costing any mana to cycle your deck, which is way, way, way important. Especially for a black archetype if you're playing Marissa, because you need to be able to search for, or in black of course it works perfectly. Marissa, you just search for your potions, get closer to them, or get closer to your present generating cards, or for Toysy, search for your attacks and or your passion proc. Simple as.
Yeah, passion / serenity proc. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like, in a lot of ways, that's part of why I put Satellite Illusion as higher than Navigation Star, because, like, Navigation Star you take because you happen to already be in Scry. Satellite Illusion puts you into Scry. It helps you generate Scry procs, so I like it better.
I can get how you don't like that necessarily on Koishi when it comes to Crimson, but there is ways to work around that, and to be fair, Koishi decks are, like, I feel like I'm still figuring out Koishi myself too, because for example, I still am trying to figure out a good way to actually get a dream deck running without feeling like it is way too late in the run. It is Koishi's weird, but then again, that's par for the course with Koishi.
Yep. Speaking of par for the course, we were talking about Marissa already, so let's talk about one of my favorite Marissa cards. I'm not going to lie to you, I love this card. This is a powerful card. This is Directional Laser. So, Directional Laser is one of those cards that when I first saw it, I thought it was quite bad. Because my first thought was, oh man, I'm paying 7 mana for like 32 damage? That's terrible. That's way below rate, right? If I'm doing 32 damage, I want to be paying at most like 5-6 mana. Like, what is this 7 mana garbage? I didn't keep reading. Here's what Directional Laser says. Directional Laser is a 7 mana card, 6 of any color, 1 black. It deals 16 damage 2 times. When retained, it costs 1 less per combat. It automatically comes with Retain, and it also has Accurate, which is phenomenal. So why is this card so good? One, really any attack card that has Accurate built in saves you mental space. Oh no, they have Grays. Who cares? You have Accurate. It's fantastic for that. And while, yes, it looks quite awful to have it at this high cost, it also means that you can hold on to it while you're doing your setups. It happens all the time. You have your ability setups, you have your firepower bonuses, and you're not going to be playing Directional Laser anyways. You're not playing a lot of attack cards on your first turn when you're doing your setups, or your second turn if you're still doing setups somehow, right? And on those turns where you're not going to be playing this incredible card anyways, it goes down to being a 5 cost pretty quickly. And then it goes down to being a 4 cost, and then a 3. A lot of the times, you gotta ask the question of, well, where do I feel okay playing it? Where is it like, man, I got my value out of? Well, we said it earlier, right? Every 5 damage is 1 mana, so 32 divided by 5 is 6. So once it costs 6 mana, you start feeling pretty okay about it. Well, would you look at that? That's 1 turn of waiting, right? 1 turn waiting, it's already okay, and it only ever gets better, right? Lost Branch of Legend is also notable because, unlike Slay the Spire, they really incentivize you to be patient on at least some of your turns. They will send you turns where, like, you must block, right? Or you must figure out some way to activate defensive options. And in those turns, Directional Laser is also quite good, right? Where it increases in value as you are holding on to it while you do other things that you need to do at that time, right? And notably, it also has some very interesting synergistic effects with other things that many of the base kits do. For Potion Marissa, sometimes you just get to play it raw, which is really funny, because in Potion Marissa, you get to just generate all the mana and then you go flying. For Koishi, if you have an index into her, she is sometimes in Passion, and it turns out 16 damage times 2 is a lot of damage. 32 times 2 is 64 damage. 64 damage for 7 mana is actually pretty okay. you're way above rate at that point. You already feel pretty good about it. Reimu loves this card. Sakia loves this card, Cerno loves this card, right? Like, there isn't ever a point where you feel bad having at least a singleton copy of Directional Laser in your deck. And sometimes it's just better than that. There are times where, like, you'll have 2 or 3 of them, and they're all cycling off at different times, and you have this little wave of lasers coming out of your body. It's beautiful. I'm never shy about taking this card. I never feel bad about it. Now, I'm hyping it up. Why is at the bottom of Powerful? Well, it's at the bottom of Powerful because it's kind of expensive, okay? Like, while yes, you feel good about casting it at 6 mana, that first turn is still 6 mana, right? You don't have that right away. If you see this in your opening draft, you can't play it until at least the 3rd turn where it drops in. And that's a little bit awkward. So it can make your early game a little bit awkward. But as nights go on, you get more and more mana, it starts becoming less and less of a concern.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Agree on every single point right there when it comes to for Directional Laser. It does its value great. It had, like, you can play it naturally over time, even if you're not indexing into it, just on sheer value of it'll eventually cost, you know, your 3 or 2 that you can essentially play exactly so without any problems. Then you have ways to cheat it out, be it mana gain, be it, especially if you're considering so, if you're like for any black characters, so Marissa, get 2 potions and oh, I can maybe actually cheat it out for a little bit more. Oh, I went from Serenity to Passion, I got my mana back, I could actually play it then, in that case or so. You have ways to effectively cheat it out without feeling necessarily too bad about it at all. It's great to do so. It just has good value overall. That is to start getting your Mooncake.
You were absolutely getting your cake and eating it with Directional Laser.
Now, the big thing is exactly so. That's the one thing that I would harp on that you've already been talking about and what I already am zoning in on. Wow, this shit sucks.
Me looking at Cruz's stream. I wonder what happened, guys. Oh, I see.
I got Breaking Boundaries as my first ever card draft again. It's another rare, but god, dude, this shit sucks. I should have just gone with the safe play.
Yep.
Oh well, potions are fine then.
Yeah, when in doubt, you can always get potions.
Hey, I got a potion! I can play Exercising Border! I can actually get the Creeping Hunger out of my hand now. Get that shit out of here. That's actually great. But anyway, going on to it. But yeah, exactly so. Biggest problem is how absolutely it feels horrible to take it early, because once again, like, I am going to argue for this in the fact of L7 when it hits 7 runs. If you already have Long Night, like, L7 already involves Long Night being in your hand. Okay, big whoop, so what, whatever. The fact is, you're saying, let's say if you draw it on your first turn, you only have 4 cards in your hand. And the fact that Long Night already exists brits your opening turn really badly, people. You need to recognize that. It's so vital to get your engines going, because even, yeah, if you're not going to play it, fact is, that's one less card that could have been an ability, that could have been something that gets your engine going or so, and it really hurts when you don't have anything but basic strikes or defense. I'm not saying that it's bad, necessarily, it's not, like, the run ruining, but it absolutely means, like, you need to get ostensibly early game cards to really buffer yourself upwards to support yourself until you can make more natural use out of it.
Which reminds me, part of my assumptions, everyone, is that we're talking about Lunatic 7. In general, if it's good for Lunatic 7, it'll be good for anything that's lower than that. What is Lunatic 7? It's the hardest difficulty mode in the game. Enemies have more life, they hit harder, they have scarier moves. You get less powerful at the start of the run, you have less HP, you start with a debuff in your opening deck called Eviction Order, which you just can't play and can't get rid of.
It's just solid standard brick, yep.
Yep, you get less gold, less power, less life after being a boss. You find upgraded cards less often, and the shop is more expensive. It costs money now to train, which is not true of any of the other lower grades. And most importantly, Long Night. Long Night is a brick of a card, and what it does is on the very first turn, until you spend enough cards or get rid of it, it makes all of your cards cost 1 more mana. That is really bad in a mana efficiency game. Like Lost Branch of Legend, we are really trying to hone in on making your deck as efficient as possible, because it bricks several different types of hands. So if you do see something in inconsistent or in bad or at the bottom of a tier, this part is often why. You have to think about what Long Night does to the rest of your turns.
Alright. I've played Breaking Boundaries to get a random card that costs 0, which then allowed me to play Exercise and Border, which is a random card that costs 0. I mean, this absolutely did not matter in the grand scheme of things, since I was dead this turn no matter what due to Reflection, but this is just a funny round of turns, holy shit.
Oops,
okay, keep going. Keep going on.
Rainbow Star Blast. Now, I go back and forth on Rainbow Star Blast a lot. There are some times where, like, I play it, I feel good, I feel strong, and there's other times where I play it and I'm like, what? Why? What was the point?
Read out your stream again, please, for my side.
Yep. Rainbow Star Blast is an X cost card, where X is however much mana you want to put into it, and 2 blacks. Its floor is that it is a deal 9 damage accurate card. For every 1 black you spend on that X, it deals 3 more damage. For every rainbow or prismatic mana that you spend, it deals an additional 3 more damage. Yes, it does double count. So rainbow damage is worth 6 damage. Rainbow mana is worth 6 damage per mana spent. What's the floor on this card? The floor on this card is you're spending 2 mana to deal 9 damage with accurate. That, believe it or not, is okay. Right? It is double black if you play it that way, which is worth mentioning. Double black is a little bit worse than 1 black and 1 neutral mana. But you can always find a use for an accurate card, right? So a card having accurate and doing the baseline okay, right? 5 damage per mana or very close to it is okay, right? That's a card that you can play in many decks. Notably, I prefer personally to put this card on the border of powerful and combo, and honestly, I think I put it in powerful. I think I must have had, I think when I placed it, I must have had a really great run where like it worked out and like saved the run. I'm guessing that's what happened. Because when I look at it again, most of the time, I think most of the time what I actually place it in is combo, where it really wants to be in a deck that can make that prismatic mana, because having that prismatic mana makes it increase in value exponentially, right? So your first regular mana you spend on, so at a 3 cost, it is 12 damage. Okay, that's below rate now. As a 4 cost, it is now 15 mana. So if you're not playing it with prismatic mana, it actually goes down in value over time. Its best case scenario is when you're not paying any extra mana for it. However, if you are using prismatic mana, well, now it's increasing in value over cost. So now per prismatic mana you spend, it's increased by 6. So each mana is slightly overvalued. This could be a great way if you have a lot of mana in your hand to just dump it all into one target. But it's also a great way to be a brick in your hand, because while it is okay, it's often below rates. If you're playing it in any random deck, you really do need a specific collection of cards and specific collection of mana generation to make this card feel very powerful, which is why I put it in combo, where it's not awful at its floor. Again, being accurate and being on rate means it's never going to be actively bad, right? But once you start spending mana into it, it can feel bad. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
It is, again, going back to fight, I'm just considering everything on the various way this fire binary of Strike Plus, essentially what I'm saying to this, it's just what I consider to be the baseline for what is a cash out card, exactly so as you're saying, of just, oh yeah, it lets me spend out all my mana, exactly so, for however I want to do it or so. It's just fine for that sake.
Yeah. Like, I won't call it reliable because it's a little bit better than that, right? There is a floor that's better than your average reliable card, because it is accurate, and being accurate means that it can be useful in a lot of situations where the regular cards just don't hold water, right? But yeah, when you have to dump mana into it, that means you need to be able to dump mana in the first place. So you need a ton of mana, which means all sorts of awkwardness has to happen. Like,
it's fine because it's essentially like, because you need to put it on rate with what the additional effect is. It is remember, Strike Plus is what I am putting everything here So astrology is strike plus gain an astrology. Reimu's cards is like strike plus do weaken or strike multiple times. This is really just strike plus deal more damage is what the baseline is arguing for here. Simple, nothing special, but that's the rub. It's just nothing special.
Yep. There is a special mention, which is probably why I think I know why I put it in powerful. There's a special mention. Once you do upgrade it, now it's well above rate, even if you don't spend a ton of don't have prismatic mana. Because at when you upgrade it, it goes into 12 and 4 and 4. So with prismatic mana, now it's taking 8 damage per charge, so almost double value per mana. So that's probably why I put it where I did, I think. But I'm still moving it. I'm still moving it over to combo. Speaking of combo, Shoot the Moon, another combo card. I love this card. Another favorite. It is the first time we're going to see this, and not the last. Hybrid mana. What does hybrid mana mean? Hybrid mana means you can spend mana of either color type, and it qualifies as this card. So you can't spend green mana for this, but you can spend either 2 blacks, or 2 red mana, or 1 black and 1 red mana, and all 3 of those will mean it will work, right? I put it in combo. Why? Well, what's its default? Its default is 16 damage, or 8 damage 2 times. So, 8 damage per mana, that's above rate. We're looking good pretty already. What makes it combo? Well, not every deck has Charge. Charge is actually relatively rare. You must be Red Marissa, or you must have indexed into a lot of cards that give you Charge. Those are the only ways that you can get Charge at this stage of the game. Which means you had to have chosen Marissa as your backup. Like, Koishi would never see this card, right? If she went into Reimu, right? Even if she did pick up red. And you might go, okay, well, why does that matter? Well, because even if you are playing Koishi, you don't natively have a way to gain Charge until you get cards that do so. There's no guarantee of it. But even in the cases where you don't see those things and you don't see the Charge, it's still perfectly fine. It's a good card. It's above rate. But when you do get Charge, now it becomes a powerful card. It is one of the few cards in the game where you can be aggressive and at the same time also cover your defenses, because it gives you Overdrive 2, gain 2 graze. Where Overdrive is, you spend 2 charge, and you gain 2 graze is, you take 0 damage from attacks. Where each time you're attacked, or at the start of a turn, you lose 1 graze. Having defenses and offense built into one card is basically always going to make a card good, right? Especially when both of those things are above rate. At rate for 2 graze is usually 1 mana. So in essence, for the Overdrive, you're getting the graze for free in a lot of ways, barring whatever you played to get the charge in the first place. Which, if you're playing Red Marissa, you didn't play anything. It was just a feature of you are playing Red Marissa, so you're going to naturally be building a charge over time. It makes Shoot the Moon phenomenal. And again, I'm not always going to mention upgrades, because I think upgrades are something that are precious. You need to save your cash on. The upgrade for Shoot the Moon is notable because it makes it go from 8 damage per mana to being 12 damage per mana. So now you're almost triple mana value, and it becomes accurate. So this card goes from being above rates to being way above rate when you upgrade it. That being said, again, you do need some way to generate charge, which means you probably are just playing Red Marissa. If you see this card and you're not Red Marissa and you don't have ways to consistently build charge, you're usually pretty upset, right? Because it's not worth taking, right? It is a card you'll skip some of the time, especially as Potions Marissa. As Potions Marissa, it's kind of difficult for you to get charge. Yes, you will see charged cards, and sometimes you will have enough charged cards already in your deck that you're like, you know what, yeah, I'll take Shoot the Moon. I have like 8 charge per turn or something, or 8 charge per 2 turns. I can do it.
Real quick,
right?
Can I stop you for 2 seconds? This is a cool card, because again, it's been a while since I played since the last updates, but I can only see Reimu doing whoopsh, Gerez with this.
Gain 5 Divine Favor. Oh, I love that card. I love how good it is.
Hector Berry is better, though, from my circumstance, though.
Dang, what a choice lineup you had. What the heck?
I got a random rare to start, and I got Block Toys. I'm debating about what I do not need right now, because I am very, very, very chill, but I kind of like everything that I have. Kind of really do. Probably talisman at this point, though. Myself thin, but go on. Sorry.
It's all good. Any thoughts on Shoot the Moon?
No, I feel like you've just echoed what I had right there when it comes to it. Nothing, honestly, special.
The first card that, like, I love it and hate it at the same time. And I think if I'm being intellectually honest, I really want to put it in inconsistent. But it is a damage each enemy card, so that's worth noting. Firework Potion. This is a 1 neutral mana, 1 black, 1 red, so a total of 3. Deal 12 damage to each enemy. Firework Potion deals 6 more damage for each unstable potion in the draw and discard piles. So, this card has a good floor. 3 mana for 12 damage to each enemy is okay. It's slightly below rate if it's only a single enemy, without any potions, but it is above rate per enemy it does hit. So even if you're hitting only 2 enemies with this, it feels good, and frankly, there are hallway fights are a thing. So there's basically always a use case for this. It's a very decent card into a hallway fight. Now, I should mention this, while it is good to have this effect, it's not the most powerful version of this effect. A lot of damage each enemy spells do more damage than Firework Potions does, as a baseline. But 12 is a 10, perfectly acceptable. The reason it's powerful is not necessarily on its own merit, but rather the merits of unstable, or not powerful, in combo. The reason it's in combo is because of the power of Firework Potion, right? Unstable potions are quite good, it turns out. And so having unstable potions makes this card better. And it's fairly routine to, in any random Marissa deck, to have 2 or 3 potions just lying around. They're just that good. The potion cards really are just that efficient. And any character that indexes into Marissa is happy to have those potions show up. Reimu loves this card with a couple potions running around, right? She's totally happy to see this. And Red Koichi is also perfectly happy to play a random potion here or there. But that's kind of the key, right? Random potion here or there. It's never a bad card, but until you get there with potions, it's difficult to make it an amazing card. Because notably, it doesn't allow you to look into the vanish pile for potions. If it did, it would probably be one of the best cards in the game at the lower end of bomb status. But it doesn't. You might go, well, what does that matter? What's the vanish pile? Well, the vanish pile is where every card goes whenever it is exiled for any reason. Oh, would you look at that? Unstable potions are cards that get exiled whenever they get played. It's pretty normal for any random black-red deck to have like 5 or 6 of these in their vanish pile on accident, because they happen to be casting potions every now and then anyways. And so when you if this allowed you to look into the vanish pile, I would call this powerful or even above. But it doesn't. It specifies the draw pile and discard pile. Those are finite resources. They will get spent out and they will go away. It's very difficult to make Firework Potion insane. Hey, Don. Doing good. Doing a Lost Special Legends tier list. I think there's a good argument to move Firework Potion over to inconsistent, but having an area attack card is always good in a hallway fight, so I have a tough time putting it in inconsistent. I want to give it a little bit more credit than that. But how do y'all feel?
I just don't like this card in general. I think the only thing that's really saving it is the fact that, it's his face, is the fact that it is an AoE. Otherwise, It just feels so horrible to me.
And I find that reasonable. I think that Black Potion Marissa can basically always take this. Red Marissa would look at it and go, do I already have an area attack card? Yes? Okay.
I did my math wrong. I thought I was surviving on 2 Oh well. Toss the run.
Speed!
Well, I'm turning runs because I'm just more listening to you on your breakdown when it comes to it. But no, I say it's definitely more on the inconsistent side. So, like, 1, if you're taking it on its own as your AoE to get in, or fighting into the 3 fairy, like, let's say you're taking it at 1. So, 3 Fairies of Light / Odin are the times that you're finding it for AoE and everything like that or so. And also, my game is chugging for whatever reason. Okay, we're fine. fact is, if you're taking it for the AoE, you don't have you only have craft potion to begin with. You don't have any other potion making, so at most you're getting it +1 stat essentially in the firework itself. And otherwise, if you're making a bunch of potions, usually that's one of only 2 cash out cards for potions to make with. Really, when it comes to it, the other cash out is the one that keeps powering up the potions the longer they're in your draw and discard pile. So really, it's better for you to be cycling the potions throughout. And in that case, then again, it's strike plus what are your modifiers? AoE and stealing damage if you put potions in.
Well, that's my argument though, because it's AoE, its baseline is 4 damage per mana is its floor, right? But if it's hitting more than 1 target, now its baseline like 2 targets, right? At 2 targets, it is 24 damage, right? And so now your floor is 8 damage per mana. That's still very efficient, and that's why you're taking it. You're not taking it as a card that's like for a boss fight, right? And it does help out with some of the elite boss fights in Act 1, which is probably notable, right? And some of those scarier puffball fights are also helped out by Firework Potion. I don't want to put I'm on the fence with this card, to be honest. I can easily see it being inconsistent, but the only thing it saves for me is that it is AoE. If it wasn't AoE, I would definitely not put it in combo.
Yep. Agree. And then again, too, I think the other thing to note as well is the fact that the existence of removing after an act fight exists, which does buffer it up to be. Now, of course, categorizing it if you want to be more semantics, it is an Act 1 killer. It's like only Spirit Bomb. You take it for Act 1 and then you can just get rid of it without any problem because it did its job.
Yep, it lets you survive the puffballs. You're good. It lets you deal with crows. You're good. Yeah, I can see the argument for inconsistent either way. I'm leaving it where it is for now, but I understand the argument against it.
I just don't like you. Smile.
Yep. Oh wait, hold on. What am I doing? I have a button I could have pushed this whole time. All right.
Smile.
Overflowing love. So, there.
Read out too, by the way.
Overflowing Love is a 2-mana card, one neutral and 1 black. It says deal 10 damage and then follow-up card. What a follow-up card is it can be activated from the draw pile as part of additional effects. There are other cards that have on them text that says play a follow-up card. This is a follow-up card. So you can sometimes play this for free as part of the attack of another card. Now, I actually don't like this card.
Isn't this a base Koishi though, if I recall correctly?
It is. It's very strange. So hear me out. On its own, as an early act card, I think it's okay. I think it is on rate. It is 1 mana per damage. And sometimes it'll be better than that because sometimes you'll get to play a card and then you get to do a follow-up card and then you get to do this. But that's a problem. You get better ones. And unfortunately, removing is a very precious resource in Lost Branch of Legend. I would argue removals are some of the hardest things to get in the game. And unfortunately, it is a basic card, which means you can't use the free removals that you get at the end of every segment in order to get rid of them. You must use a very precious shop removal, or find a relic that lets you remove it in one of the rest areas. And at that point, you gotta compare it to what its competition is for follow-up cards, right? So if I look up other follow-up cards, a lot of them will do other things, like they'll apply weak, or they're just bigger numbers. Why wouldn't I rather play 20 damage instead of 10 damage? Why wouldn't I rather 20 again? We were talking about how good 12 damage each is to each enemy, right? Well, why wouldn't I want to do 17 for free? It'd be really cool. And so that's what makes it. That's why I don't like it. Now, is that thing as being bad? I don't think so. I think what that means for it is that it's sitting here on this weird border between being either combo and inconsistent or inconsistent and reliable at the same time. Because there are some scenarios, right, where you love this card because it's free damage you wouldn't have gotten otherwise because you happen to have a follow-up card. And there's other scenarios where you hate this card because you drew it instead of one of your better cards. And because you have very little control over that, apart from knowing what's in your deck. Which, let's be fair, you do know some of the time. Some of the time you will know that it is the only follow-up card in your deck, you're just happy to play it, right? So for me, I've put it on the border of combo and inconsistent to like try and represent that like sometimes you love to have this card in your deck, and sometimes you're like, man, I drew my overflowing love. Although arguably that's like a complaint about like, damn, I'm suffering from success. I'm getting a free attack card, and it's not the one I wanted, but it's still free attack. So it's like, no.
This is because it's a basic, which means it starts in your deck. I'm just like, this feels like such a nothing burger argument to me about putting it anywhere, quite frankly, because it exists to start. It's like if you're trying to rate eviction order, because it starts in your deck. There's no point. There's no point to this here because it exists. You have to play around it no matter what. It's not like you're getting to choose to take it. You always have it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if I have to compare it to Illusion Laser, which is the fair thing, right? Illusion Laser is a blank card that just does damage, right? It's better than Illusion Laser, at least some of the time. And it's worse than Illusion Laser, at least some of the time. And I think that's worth mentioning. Like, I don't think I would put every, basic card onto this list, right? A lot of the times, like, the only ones I put on the list are ones that deviate in some way from a neutral card. This one does, so it's worth mentioning. Like, you can't get around it, right? But you're also, like, looking to remove it after a certain point in a way that you might not, like, hunger with Illusion Laser, right?
Okay, I get the argument for vacuum, for vacuum and everything like that now then. Okay, I'll give it that. But to me, I just feel like I don't want to entertain this conversation at all.
Alright.
Just okay. Put a strike. Put the strike in the tier list here. What are we doing, people?
Yep. Oh, I did put it in the tier list. It's unreliable. It's in the middle of reliable.
I just don't like. I don't want to entertain this conversation. Just get me out of here.
Romantic Rose. I love Romantic Rose. Enter Passion. It is a 2-mana card. One neutral, one black. It does deal 12 damage and enter Passion. What is Passion? Passion says, while in Passion, the player deals and takes 100% more attack damage. Passion is a mental state, so you can only have one mental state at a time. I love Passion. I love dealing double damage with your cards. It lets you be so aggressive and get so many kills out that you don't deserve. Now, of course, there's the risk of just dying and exploding, but that's the game you played. You chose Koichi. I think it's a combo card. In the same way that, like, I think it's worth mentioning that, yes, it's a standard card that you can, like, start the game with. It's really good. You're not sad to take extra copies of Romantic Rose, right? I've even done it from one to time when I'm desperate for passion triggers, right? You absolutely take it. And it's part of a combo. It's an enabler. It's very much an enabler, right? Anything that you would do to take out enemies before they can take care of you, while having only attack cards in hand, only gets better if one of those attack cards is Romantic Rose. And that's just a game state thing that happens all the time, right? Like, it happens all the time, where you're just like, man, I need to kill someone now. Oh, would you look at that? I have Romantic Rose. I've even done it where, like, even if I don't have ways to get out of Passion, I'll pick up a Romantic Rose, because dealing double damage is so good. Because it turns out, you don't take damage if the enemy's dead. Now that being said, it does require you to be, the reason I have it in combo, and not in powerful, like I also want to do it, is that you still kind of need to be in a deck that can facilitate that aggression, right? Red Reimu loves indexing into Koichi and grabbing this card. Saki, maybe not so much, right? if you're not into an extremely aggressive color pie, this is not a card you take a lot of the time, right? You absolutely skip this, which is why I put it in combo. Passion is, yes, Crimson said it best. Passion is a drug, and I can't get enough.
Passion, when it comes to it, it's not bad. Like, people need to evaluate the fact that it's not bad to be getting stuck in passion necessarily. The trap is basically recognizing, kind of like how, like, if you're counting, like, people conflate the fact that it's like, alright, I have like 10 cards in my deck. At worst, it's gonna be like 3 turns before I draw my Fist of the Akure or my Directional Laser or get enough power to kill the person. It's the same argument, you're just saying, alright, I've got 3 turns before their attacks override and kill me. It's just that the fact is, instead of you just playing, and instead of you just trying to make sure that you're losing as little health, until you get that kill shot, you're basically trading your health for that kill shot. Simple as.
And sometimes you're not trading. Sometimes you just get so much damage off of passion, off of doubling your damage that it doesn't matter. You're fine.
Yep, which is essentially so. Just exactly how that all breaks down. You're not necessarily minding it. It's just that is the risk that you are taking, and you are willingly taking it. If you are entering passion, you are entering that contract that's saying, haha, you need to fucking die.
Yep, be gone, enemy. I want to put Air Kiss in powerful, but I'm putting it in combo. Let me explain. What is Air Kiss? Air Kiss is a 2-mana card, 1 neutral, 1 black. Deal 6 damage, apply 1 week, perform a follow-up attack. On its own, with Air Kiss, I don't think I'm ever happy to take a singleton copy of Air Kiss. It does get noticeably better when you upgrade it. It does become 1 mana, and at 1 mana, I'm absolutely thrilled to take Air Kiss. I'm perfectly happy to take a pre-upgrade Air Kiss almost every time I see one, if I have follow-up attacks in my deck. Without follow-up attacks, only 1 week can sometimes matter, and at 2 mana, it's too expensive for that effect. You'd rather have a skill that does that applies the week instead. It's never going to get the kill on its own. It really does need other cards. But unlike most cards that are like that need other themes indexed into them, it comes with a little upside on its own where it can perform the follow-up attack. So that means you get to play an attack card for free. So you can somewhat read this as, at the very floor, pay 2 mana, deal 16 damage, because then you're getting Overflowing Love. Overflowing Love is the baseline of what can happen, assuming you have enough Overflowing Love in your deck, which is the other thing. There are times where Air Kiss just bricks. It is just a brick in your hand because there's no follow-up cards in your deck. That will happen sometimes. Does that make it bad? I don't think so. I am tempted to put it in powerful, regardless, because just being able to perform a free attack is almost always going to be good. However, because you don't have control over what attack is being performed, and because it is quite expensive for what it does when you're not performing an attack, or when you don't know what attack you're performing, I tend to place it just in combo, where the floor, reasonable, the ceiling, quite good. In some ways, to me, it's almost on the border of becoming inconsistent. But I think the ceiling is so high because you're gonna take this in every Koishi deck that you see. And I'm giving the benefit of the doubt that you're taking this as you're playing Koishi, or have one as you're playing Koishi. For anyone else that's indexing into Koishi, it's maybe not so good, right? But you can make things better over time, right? Like, you are in a run after all. You are in a roguelike. You can trim your deck or adjust your deck to make this a lot better. But you would basically also never take it if you don't have follow-up cards already in your deck.
Biggest thing for me that I compare it to is that, one, it starts in Black Koishi's deck, and I would compare it to Slay the Spire's The Silence Neutralize, which is a 0 mana, deal 3 damage, and apply a week to the enemy. Same effect in essence when it comes to it here, but, you know, it just does a little bit more for Lost Brands of Legends flavoring with you doing follow-up attacks. I feel like it's fraudulent one point to say you can't control what you attack, because that's the nature of follow-up as a gimmick in general or so you have to put everything on rate for that exactly so. But the biggest thing that I feel is that, as D3 mentioned out, upgrading it so it only costs 1 mana instead makes it perform exceptionally well. It is great for bosses because it serves as a little bit of offense, a little bit of defense with the weakening once you play out more cards than the bottom of your deck, essentially so, or even just essentially keep searching through things. And the only thing that really does make it worse over time is the fact that it's just a card. It is a card that is dealing at minimum 6 plus 10 damage with just a regular overflowing love then, and a weak. That can absolutely be eclipsed by other value. Now, it is 1 mana, but at the end of the day then, if you're looking for bigger combo pieces that can set up more follow-ups, you have stronger choices when it comes to it than later on.
Yep, which is why it's not as powerful. I want to put it there in some. I have had games where I'm like, man, Ericus is goated, and then I've had games where it's like, well, it's Ericus, it'll help.
Yeah, it exists. It's good. It's fine. It just takes up a card later on, but it has a noticeable power spike and it serves its role. Nothing too special.
Speaking of power spikes, accurate love, or instinctive love. I misspoke there. What did I say? Accurate love? This is a card that, like, I need to give it special mention to its upgrade. I think without its upgrade, it's good, right? It's above rate. It is, what is it? It is a 3 mana card, 2 neutral, 1 black. Deal 20 damage at the start of combat, and when shuffling, Instinctive Love is placed at the bottom of the draw pile. Follow-up card. This is one of the cards that makes Overflowing Love, like, you really love seeing Instinctive Love, right? Because it's very reliable follow-up damage, right? It makes your Air Kiss go from being a 2 mana 16 damage to being 2 mana 26 damage. That feels awesome. Right? And notably, because it's always placed at the bottom of the draw pile, you can guarantee that you're gonna be able to play it in the correct order. Sometimes what happens with Overflowing Love, for example, is that it's not, you draw it before you draw your cards that give you the follow-up attacks, right? You never have that problem with Instinctive Love. It's always where it's supposed to be, at the bottom of the draw pile, which means unlike Overflowing Love, which will sometimes just not be there in the deck when you want to play, like the Air Kiss, for example, Instinctive Love is always where it should be when you're trying to play it. It makes it so reliable. It means that a lot of the time it's a 0 mana card, so you're playing it for free as a part of a performance. That being said, why am I giving special mention to its upgrade? Well, because then it becomes accurate. This is a problem with follow-up cards because you can't control them. Sometimes they just whiff, right? It's when they hit a Grace target. But Instinctive Love goes way up in reliability because you can make it accurate. That little upgrade does wonders for making it a more powerful card. Again, remembering that like your upgrades cost money and they also cost map space, right? It's not easy to get a ton of upgrades. But this is a card that it's good enough that you're perfectly happy to dump an upgrade into it if you don't have anything better going on, right? It's not that weird for like your second or third upgrade to be an Instinctive Love if you happen to have one in your deck while also having Air Kiss, right? It makes Air Kiss great, right? And so for that reason, I put it quite high in the combo section, right? Because it is more reliably there in the place where it's supposed to be for the deck. It does more damage than other comparable cards, and it just does it in one big chunk, which also means if you're ever weakened, it still does significant damage. Some of the weapons, some of the other ones have something called firepower, are multi-hit, so when you're afflicted by firepower down, they deal a noticeable amount less of damage, but this one is a lot more reliable, just in general. And so because the floor is so reliable, and because the ceiling is relatively high, I like putting it in combo. Yeah, and Crimson has a really good word to say on it. Getting accurate is one of the best upgrades you can... Getting accurate and getting cheaper are some of the best upgrades you can see on an attack card, right? Those are fantastic, right? And having an attack card that is free, that deals that becomes accurate is wonderful. And it is free most of the time. It's very rare that you're playing a follow-up deck where Instinctive Love is not just a free card. But even if you aren't playing it as a free card, if you're playing it as a raw 3 mana 20 damage, maybe because you drew it at the start of your deck, it's still okay, right? It has enough damage that even with a mana increase from a late night, it's still okay, right? It's still on rate at 4 mana for 5 for 20 damage. But that being said, if you're not playing it as a follow-up card, if you just see one randomly, like out in the ether, and you're playing, you're not already playing a bunch of follow-up cards, it feels pretty bad. You never want to take this as like your first follow-up card. You really want to have Air Kiss or some other perform a follow-up attack card already in your deck before you even think about taking Instinctive Love.
Yep.
Which is why, yeah.
It's there. It's fine. Main thing is that it's just a a flying brick of damage. Don't have to do anything too special about it. It's just nice.
There's a sequence of these. The next one is Dance of the Heart. I flip-flop back and forth on whether I like Dance of the Heart more than Instinctive Love. The main issue that Dance of the Heart has is that it does not have accurate when you upgrade it. So, as an upgrade card, it's a little bit worse. Oh, right, I should explain this card. 3 mana, just like Instinctive Love. 2 neutral and a black, just like Instinctive Love. It deals 20 damage, just like Instinctive Love. But it's spread out over 2 attacks, so deal 10 damage 2 times. And, just like Instinctive Love, at the start of combat and when shuffling, you place it at the bottom of the draw pile. That's perfectly reasonable, right? Like, you're never sad to see it, right? In a lot of ways, I feel like everything that I've said about Instinctive Love, I can also say about Dance of the Heart. But I'm a little bit less high on it, just because, while yes, I do value multi-hits, and I do think there are scenarios where multi-hitting is way, way better than the one big brick of damage, right? It's okay, right? It's okay. It is a good combo card, it is a good follow-up card, and you're happy to play it even if you don't see the upgrade or if you don't see the other cards. Now, would you ever take it outside of a follow-up deck? Of course not. No, it's in the same tier that Instinctive Love is. You really do need to be in a follow-up deck to be playing this. I don't think I need to say anything special about this one. It's basically just re-flavored Instinctive Love, right? Like,
yeah, and then like most do a little bit, but bear or anything like that or so. It's just alright. You just have a little bit more for if you have any firepower anyway or so, then that's fine. Literally it.
Yep. Yeah, that's why it's not very high in the combo section. It's just in there, right? It just makes your deck better. Emotional Surge. What a card. Most of the time, Emotional Surge is just a follow-up card that says, deal 17 damage to each enemy. Why? For 3 mana, 2 neutral and 1 black. It's fine. There's other text here, but the other text doesn't matter most of the time. But I'll still read it to you. In Fugue, or Fugue?
Fugue state.
In Fugue, deal damage in additional time. Okay, well now we're cooking. How much mana would I pay to do 17 damage twice? Looks at Directional Laser. I could pay a little bit of mana for that. Okay. 3 mana for 17 damage twice to each enemy? That's awesome! Oh wait, it's not that. It's very rarely that. Getting Fugue is actually a little tough, right? The ways you get into Fugue, they're not impossible. It is doable, and there are ways to make it better, but there's no deck in the game right now that starts you off with the ability to get Fugue. You have to find it, right? That's gonna be a running theme for some other cards, where if you can find the pieces for Emotional Surge, you're extremely happy about it. If you don't have the Fugue, well, it's an area attack card, so that means you love it for hallway fights and you hate it for bosses. And notably though, unlike every other follow-up card that we've seen so far, sorry, that's not fair. Unlike Dance of the Heart and Instinctive Love, this does not guarantee it's at the bottom of your deck every time you shuffle. It's very possible that you'll go out raw, but thankfully it is above rate, right? Even its floor is still 17 damage per 3 mana, so a little bit better than 5 mana for damage. It's okay, right? You'll play it. Sometimes it'll feel amazing, right? It'll really, really feel amazing if you ever consistently get into Fugue state. But if you can't, it's an area attack card. Another worthwhile mention is comparing to Firework Potion. Firework Potion has a floor that's worse, but a ceiling that's better, right? But with minimal investment. Because I do think that potions are minimal investment. It's pretty easy to index into potions. It's pretty tough to index into Fugue, right? You can't just pick up Fugue cards, right? They're a little bit harder to get, right? So that's why for like I don't want to put it in inconsistent because its floor is still decent, right? The floor is not terrible, and the ceiling's amazing. So it's combo, but it is one of those combo cards that like if it was just a little bit worse, like 1 or 2 points damage less per mana, and I would probably just dump it into inconsistent. Otherwise, it's fine.
It exists. It's a nice little effect that gets onto it more when it comes to it. Now, it is similar to the fact that it goes to the bottom of your deck when it comes to it is the fact that you can either play it as a follow-up card on its own then, or you get the additional small benefit of kind of like trying to cheese out Finale out of the Silent, which is deal 50 damage to everybody in Sway the Spire, but only this is the last card in, like, if there's no cards in your discard in your draw pile, meaning you have to draw this last. This allows itself to draw itself last just on nature when it comes to it.
No. Notably, this is one of the few follow-up cards that doesn't do that.
Am I remembering? I have to pull up your stream then.
Yeah.
Does it not put itself at the bottom?
Yes, it does not put itself at the bottom.
Never mind then.
It used to do that, which is why you're saying that. Because it does do that in older versions of the game.
That's
Not
what I'm
anymore,
used to.
They removed it. Yep, they removed it.
Well, sad. Point stands though. You can try to find ways to cheese out, and the whole point of Feud is to be able to search through your deck and kind of find exactly what you kind of need / want in that case then. Now, does that really bring this value up too much? Not really. It's there, it exists, it's just nice.
Chartreuse Blade. So, where did I put this one? Could I put it in reliable? Yeah, it's good. It's zero mana, deals 6 damage. That's accurate. I think that is worth mentioning over some of the other pay 0, deal X damage cards. Being accurate matters a lot. Now, it's never your core damage. You're never like, oh man, 8 accurates. No. Or 8 transference blades. No, you're never doing that. But it has a little bit more upside. Whenever the player changes mental states, you return it from the discard pile to the hand. It is actually pretty common that if you're playing a mental states deck, you'll set up your deck in such a way that you're rotating between mental states multiple times in a turn. Passion into Sanctuary into Passion again, or Sanctify into Passion is very common. It's not that weird to get more value than what you would assume on the tin out of Transference Blade. Now, it's harder than Scry, right? If you compare it to its next closest equivalent with Navigation Star, Scrying is easier to do than changing your mental state. But it's not accurate. But you know what is accurate? Transference Blade is. If I had to rate it up compared to Navigation Star, they're kind of equal. I think I rated it slightly lower than Navigation Star, and that's only because it's harder to get the extra attacks out of it. But as a standalone card, you're a little bit happier to see it, right? Accurate's always nice, and sometimes you just need an accurate card. Like if you're early game and you know that you haven't fought the crows yet, so you know the crows are coming up, you can be like, you know what? A little accuracy would go a long way, and then remove it later. It's a pretty easy card to remove early game. Right, if you're like, you know what, I didn't quite get there on mental states, I only have like the 2 or 3 cards to change it out in my 15 card deck. I'm not going to see Transference Blade all that often, but I need an accurate card. Hello, Alfoneo. Hi, Alfie.
This card competes, or I say competes, that's the wrong way to put it, is the same niche exactly so as DPR, Dimensional Point Rift, in Red Ramu, which is 0 mana, accurate, draw card, accurate attack, draw it again, or dig it out of your discard pile anytime you lose a temporary buff, which notably got its own buff out of Divine Favor spending when it comes to it, hilariously, for instance. And then, at the same time past that too, it's also considering the fact that you are, for a Toshi's sake, you are constantly, if this means that you're gonna lean more into stance dancing, more than, more than trying to stay in one stance at all times or so. Is that necessarily a bad thing? Depends on what you like out of your deck when it comes to it. Because fact is, since it's, 9 damage on its own? The DPR is 9.
Yeah. No, DPR is only 9 when you upgrade it.
That's because I have DPR in my deck right now and it's upgraded. No, it sits!
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sits on its own, 9. Is this one sits in 9 on its own too?
Yep, they're all the same. They're all part of the same, what's the word that Magic the Gathering use? Not format. Cycle of cards. Right, they lean into whatever their color pie wants to do. They're low damage, they're free. Unique amongst them, Transference Blade is accurate. To me, that means outside of their cycle, it's better than the other ones, but it's also probably the hardest one to cycle. Right? It's the mental states are probably the most expensive thing to make happen again. At least in terms of mana.
Because the biggest thing to recognize is that you can always gain lose buffs, and Raimi literally has inbuilt baked into red the ability to have like 2 cards that get you 2 temporary firepower or spirit every turn, and then lose that every turn when it comes to it then. Whereas comparatively, the ones that would be Enter Serenity, Enter Passion or so are usually exiled cards. One and dones, exactly so. That you're only gonna get to use that one time over, and then it, exactly so as I said, is done with them. You're not getting too much more, and you have to spend so much on a resource for what is essentially a worse strike. You have to basically stand stance twice to get the value out of it, and it still also eats up a card that would be in your hand just by drawing it naturally as well.
Yep. So, there's a part of me that almost wants to put it in bad, but I don't think it's quite terrible enough to truly go into the bad cards. So, it's at the very, very bottom of reliable for me.
I find it
Later, Adon.
kind of like its use case is super weird.
Yeah.
Due to the raw fact that it is existing in an archetype that is very limited in how many times you can, stand dance around or so.
Yeah. The ceiling is so much lower for this one compared to the other ones in its cycle. But it is accurate, so the flow's higher. The floor is higher. Is it astronomically high? No. It's still only 6 damage, like...
No, it's that, and also if you consider it too, like, the fact is, like, I'm gonna feel like I'm being blasphemous when I'm gonna say this here. It is... it is your claw for Slay the Spire fans. It gets better the more copies that you have of it.
Yeah.
So you just get to spend $1 million over and just keep going with it and going with it and going with it.
Speaking of going and going and going, my favorite rose. We talked about how much I love Romantic Rose, right? I look at a Romantic Rose, I go, man, I get to do damage and I get to enter Passion? That's pretty sick. Wait a minute. We have Cage of Roses. Cage of Roses is 2 mana, 1 white and 1 black. What does it say? Cage of Roses says, deal 8 damage 2 times. Oh, okay, so we're already better than... Just a better card already. Okay, well, what else does it do? Enter Passion. Nice. Shuffle Cage of Roses into the draw pile. Self-recursion Passion that you can draw multiple times in a deck cycle is kind of phenomenal. Especially in black, which has lots of scry triggers, right? Like black has the 2nd or 3rd highest most scry in the game, right? First, if you're playing Black Marissa, right? I love Cage of Roses. Now, obviously, it has the same problems that that Romantic Rose does, where you need to be in a very aggressive deck. You need to be in a deck that can facilitate all of this power. Yeah, Touhou Roblox card game, absolutely, Buddy Badger.
Let's say it's Touhou Slay the Spire, exactly so, when it comes to it here.
Yep, I usually call it the upgraded Slay the Spire, is what I usually call it. I'll throw down for that one.
If those Slay the Spire fans could read, they'd be very upset with you right now.
Yep. Which, with that in mind, right?
Join the Touhou stream, by the way, because on my side of stream now, Buddy Badger, thank you for joining on. I'm more or less listening to my friends, because they're the one actually having the fun breaking down everything that's going on in the game here. So please do join their side if you want to have more of what this whole stream is. What's real here.
Yeah, Cruiser is being our booth babe right now. They're showing off the goods, the merchandise, like.
Goodness gracious.
Like,
should I put in my total cosplay that I have in my closet right now for you? God damn, girl.
Maybe.
What am I, cosplay bait to you? Yes, I am. Of course, smile.
Is Cruzy showing off the goods? Well, they're showing off the Touhou. Look at all those cards, those shiny cards.
I mean, I can't show off a lot of goods, so let's be real here, Chief. I already made the Christmas cake jokes in the Discord coming up. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, that's stories for another time. That's stories for another time. At this is legitimately just Touhou Slay the Spire here, people. I'm going through things fast, but 3 at structure, choose your path and everything, roguelike death boulder. It's literally nothing, like, it's the most Slay the Spire that any Slay the Spire roguelike spinoffs would be.
Yep. Now, on the power scale, I put it in combo because it does need to be in a deck that can use it. And, of course, Passion is dangerous, so you gotta be prepared for it. But it's definitely better than Romantic Rose by a very wide margin. They're close together here on my screen. The distance between those is much larger than what I have space for on my canvas. Which leads me into Lonely Hearts. Where did I put Lonely Heart? Oh, there it is. Combo. Okay. What a weird one. 3 mana. Okay. 2 neutral and a black for 16 damage. Okay. Gain Prismatic. Oh. Well, I like Rainbow Mana to play anything. At start of combat, add 1 copy of Lonely Heart to the draw pile. What?
Yes, in Pittsburgh.
So it's really 2 copies. Well, that's interesting. What else does it say? Oh, it's a follow-up card. Okay, pretty good. It has Replenish. It's a potion. What if Potion was a follow-up card? That's Lonely Heart. We've talked about Potion already, right? About how happy you are to... Thank you, Alpha, appreciate it. On how happy you are to play a Potion in every deck that can. If a card does something okay and also makes potions, you're pretty happy about it. Lonely Heart is just potions in any follow-up deck, and it's arguably better than that, because unlike potions, you can bring it out on demand if you have something like Air Kiss in your deck, which you will, you're playing a follow-up deck, right? If you're playing follow-up Koishi, you love every single copy of Lonely Heart you see, right? And it's never bad to have an extra copy in your deck, because it replenishes, so it's not actually ever, even if you draw it in your opening hand, it still gives you another card to look at, so it's never really a brick. Huh. Actually, that's a good question. Cruz, what does the CG stand for in your name?
No it does not. It is a tribute to the stream names of my 2 siblings, Centurio and Gran. So Centurio, Gran, Cruiser, in that essence then, because everything is dedicated in my channel to my siblings.
Oh, okay, got it. Understood.
Like, no, I'm a variety streamer, people! I'm a variety streamer! I enjoy my variety! Typecast is just a MOBA player. I mean, to be fair, I kinda am cat at them, but I'm being typecast so hard right now. Oh, so we need fan art of you, like, showing off, like, your... I'm imagining the funniest thing of you saying boot fade, of, like, you at, like, Kamaket passing out their Zinshi, and I'm just the poor person and assisting at your panel.
I've thought about it. I have thought about selling myself to some local cons, because so that they can, like, pay me to be there instead of me paying to be with them. I'm like, you know what? Y'all pay me. Come on now.
Goodness gracious. That's it, Crazy. Put on the Moa Mouse Stimpy bikini. Everybody wants it. I don't want it! Put it on, Cruzy. No, my siblings don't stream. It's just me when it comes to it. But a lot of my own theming when it comes to it is absolutely so based around them. Now I say theming when my outfit is ostensibly I am just Reimu. Hi, I'm Reimu Haturi's Shrine, everybody.
Speaking of Reimu, Reimu loves this card, by the way. Lonely Heart. It's a really fun way for her to index into follow-up cards, because it makes the awkwardness of not having the triple black mana just a lot easier to deal with. And frankly, I love having Lonely Heart. I think I'm underselling it by putting it in combo, but I should put it in combo, right? Because while it is above rates and it is it does get you mana and it does draw you a card, it's not free all of the time. Right, there's a lot of the time where you're not in a follow-up deck and you see it, so you don't take it, right? There's also a lot of time where like it just shows up in your opening hand, and now all the cool things that it does, it doesn't do anymore, right? It just replenishes, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Yes, Austin, do it. Do it.
Oh god, please. I'm getting so much fan art recently from y'all, and I'm both amazed and I'm just kind of like, oh my god. Can also just say, first time playing with DPR in Divine Favor is actually ridiculous, because free 18 damage, free 13 damage, DPR is kind of really fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is
free
it?
Damage?
Like, yes, it really works on its own, but yeah, no, DPR and Divine Spirit, that's absolutely one of the biggest buffs you could have ever asked for in the world.
Yup. Oh, speaking of buffs, Yokai EEG. A very strange card. 4 mana, so getting a little pricey here. 3 neutral and 1 black. Gain 10 block. Deal 10 damage. Perform a follow-up attack. Instinct. Perform an additional follow-up attack. What is Instinct? Well, Instinct is if this card is the leftmost or rightmost card in your hand, right? You can't move cards around in Lost Rites of Legend. Wherever they are, that's where when you draw them, that's where they stay until you play another card that like would move that gets out of the way. Whenever this is on its own, you can read this as you played at the same time an attack and block card. It's on mana rate for those. It's 5 each for those. That's quite good, right? Notably, if you upgrade it, it becomes 3 mana, and now it becomes better than that, but we're going to ignore that for now. The floor is that it performs a follow-up attack. Okay, so you gained block, you gained attack, and you did a follow-up attack. That's reasonable. If you're playing in a follow-up deck, you love to see it. I would argue it's one of the better follow-up enablers, because sometimes the issue with a follow-up card is that, like, they don't help you live, right? Sometimes you have to make a choice between, do I engage in my offense, or do I just live a little bit longer, right? It is a choice you have to make a lot of the time. Not so much with Yokai EEG, right? Yokai EEG is perfectly happy to just be like, yeah, I'm here, I'll protect you, and I'll also do something else at the same time. And sometimes it's better than that. Sometimes it'll actually combo off, and you'll get to do 2 follow-up attacks. Imagine playing Yokai AEG and then getting 2 Lonely Hearts. It feels amazing, right? I've done it. It feels great. It makes me so happy every time it happens, all right? I'm always happy to see Yokai EEG, right? In my opinion, it's one of the best black combo cards that you can see, but it is sometimes not that card. The reason it's in combo and not powerful is because it is 4 freaking mana. And sometimes you would have just rather played a more efficient card. There are cards that are more efficient, especially in terms of defenses. Yes, it's an attack card, but it has block on it, so you gotta be thinking about it at least a little bit, right? Any thoughts on that?
It bats very high for its value when it comes to it. Instinct is honestly not that hard to proc, in my opinion, when it comes to it. It's actually just very fine. And quite frankly, for getting to do 2 follow-up attacks, it very much so does so much value with you even really having to really think about it. It's just good in general.
I skipped the card. Ancestral Dreams. Okay. This is a 3-mana card, 2 neutral, 1 black, deal 17 damage to each enemy. Dream 3, then activate the first follow-up card dreamed. Accurate. So, the floor for this is a 3 mana to deal 17 damage to each enemy that's accurate. That already makes it the best AoE attack that we've seen so far in black. And while it's not the best one, I do think it is one of the better ones. It's a card that you're always happy to see, even if you're not in a follow-up deck. If you're playing in a push deck, because you just like having attack each enemy is good. It turns out, especially when that's attack each enemy accurate. If you ever see this early enough into your run, it trivializes any graze fights, like crows. Crows get trivialized. Anything like that has to deal with them gets trivialized. It's such a good card for that. Now, the Dream 3 part, I can't speak for it. I've never had it happen. And I think that says a lot, right? Dream means you put the top X cards, X being whatever the number it tells you is, from your draw pile into your discard pile, and they become dream cards. And after shuffling, you pick one of your dreams and put it into your hand. Literally, you choose your dream, right? Dreaming is one of the weaker forms of card selection, where it's not as good as Scry is, because Scry, you know for a fact you'll see it quite quickly, just naturally drawing through your deck every turn. Something being put into your dream pile does mean you can hold it for later, but it also means you can only ever pick one of those cards per set. So there have been times where Dream has bricked me, which is super worth noting. And worth noting, it's even rarer. Imagine you taking this card, right? You have 20 cards in your deck by this point. So
It's kind of stuck loading. It's never been this slow before.
You just gotta believe. You just gotta have faith. Rub its tummy. Rub your computer tummy.
Don't mind me. Maybe I'll just paint one of customers as your booth babe while I'm waiting. Oh, there we go.
Okay, good.
Also, I just noticed too that Reimu, I saw it in the first video. She has new key art too, and I think I really like it.
Oh, nice.
It matches the newer key art, kind of like with Alice coming up when it comes to, or like Koichi, because I feel like it was more striking if you put it right next to Marissa and Sakia comparatively. But the new one's pretty cute, I'd say.
Oh yeah. By the way, Cruz, I saw some things that you might like in the mods they've added mod support to Steam. And some of those mods are fire. I think you'll like those. Anyways, coming back to
and it's mostly character mods, but I'll get around to that one day. Right now, I'm just easing my way back in, so it's all Red Reimu, because it's been a month.
Yep, speaking of which, so Ancestral Dreams, I put it as a high-powered combo card, where, like, its floor is good, it's an accurate attack each enemy on rate for 3 mana for 17 damage to each enemy is super duper on rate, even as a floor, especially when accurate. Like, it's way above rate, right? But Dream 3, I feel like I've had great experiences with Dream, I've had bad experiences with Dream, and I never feel like Dream is as good as Scry. Have you had a different experience on that one?
I'm sorry, I just got Blink Dagger for 10 bucks.
Ain't no way.
I love playing Reimu. When I'm ready broke, so I don't have to think about anything. I just get to say, yeah, give me a raid exhibit at the start of every run. So, I feel like it's more disingenuous to try to put Dream on the same level as Scry, because I feel like the uses for it are way different. And let me explain that. Unfortunately, just due to the nature of it, you will be getting rid of some cards to Dream when it comes to, but it is absolutely the definition of you are playing with Dream for the long game, because yes, it can break you out of 1 or 2 powerful cards, but I think it's really good for wide decks to where you just have like a 30-40 card deck that you don't care what kind of powerful cards that you get, because you just have a million of them. You can have a million different engines. You're not going to dream away all of them at a time then. Now, does it help you necessarily when you're trying to just start a Dream identity and you don't have much else of an engine? Absolutely not, in which case then it is objectively worse than Scry in every metric way possible or so. But it does have its uses at times. When you have 2 alternating win conditions you can worry about, so of course when you're thinking about Koichi, you just have Passion Prots and then the Dream scenario itself of Dream letting you automatically dig for something in case you really need to find it or so. But before then, it's really just you trying to commit to, alright, I'm just gonna fly whatever, I find a really good card that you'd put in your bomb territory or whatever, I'll put it in, or just really good in general on its own. That way, if I dream it away, I'll get it eventually, I don't mind losing it because I still have a way to make my deck function. Otherwise then, it's the most extreme of deferred value.
Yeah,
that's how I read it. Yes, it does let you technically look at your deck and choose a card, but it is the most extreme end, where I wouldn't put it in the same level as Scry. It is objectively worse than Scry, because you have to cherry pick a card at the end of your entire deck, as opposed to in the middle of your deck. Not same at all.
Yeah. Like, there are times where I'm happy to see it, and I do think, to be fair, Ancestral Dreams is the type of dream card I do want to see, where it's a good card even without any other text. It's still a good card. Would I pay 3 mana to do 17 damage to each enemy that's accurate? Absolutely, I would. You know, like, and sometimes it's better than that, just not all the time. So combo.
Yeah, fine enough.
All right. Speaking of one of my favorites, so okay, Last Romantic Night Call. This is our first powerful card in a long time, and yes, I will call it powerful. It is a 5 mana card, so most of your mana for a given turn. 3 neutral, 2 black. That's expensive, but it's above rate. 32 damage each enemy accurate? Are you kidding me? That's crazy above rate. I was happy to pay 3 mana for 17 damage, right? This is quite literally double that, almost double that for less than double the cost. I love this, but it only gets better because you can play Last Romantic Night Call for free. Because when you upgrade it, it becomes a follow-up card. And so you already take this card in whatever black deck you're playing, right? And then you see this card as part of a follow-up deck, and you're like, oh my god, I can get an accurate 36 damage to each enemy for free? Hell yeah! This is one of those cards that I have, I was so impassioned when I first saw this card that I almost drew some fan art. I was quite excited by this card, and we'll leave the phrasing at that.
Interesting. Okay, Chief, whatever you say. Meanwhile,
Yeah, right,
me,
whatever I say.
let's stab Orden with a bunch of Danmaku 15 times. 28 Danmaku wounds!
Yeah, no, I love this card, and it's powerful, right? It's so much better than combo because even without, if you never see a single card that lets you perform a follow-up attack, you still take this card a lot of the time because it's just that big a hit to an area of damage that's also accurate. This card won't win you the run on its own, but it can help you turn around a run that's going kind of south, right? It's an incredible card, and I love to see it. Its only downside is that it's 5 mana, but frankly, like, it's super, super above rate at that point. Like, who cares? Play the mana, kill the enemy, get your win, be impassioned, deal 72 damage instead. Marvelous.
Marvelous, sir.
Yep. Marvelous.
Nande, marvelous, sir.
Yeah, love this card. Alright, moving on. Alright, so there's only one card that I ever even consider being better than Last Romantic Night Call in the powerful section for me. That card is Rose Hell Plus. I am going to be specific, not Rose Hell. It must be Rose Hell Plus. As Rose Hell, it is X mana, that number again, black, 1 black, and 1 green. So a small callback to a card that happened earlier, Rainbow Star Blast. Rainbow Star Blast was the same cost, but its floor was 9 accurate damage. What's the floor on Rose Hell? Well, it is deal 9 damage and gain 1 mana. I am a mana addict. I love getting more mana mid-turn.
Average blue player. Sorry.
Average green player, thank you very much.
Yes,
man.
my growth, my cards, my greed.
My greed. This card feels green, right? You can absolutely look at the start of your turn, go, I can do this, and dump all of your mana into this card, and then with all the mana that it gives you back, play all of your defenses out. It's an incredibly greedy card. Especially noteworthy that it does say every 2 mana, so it's a little below rate when unupgraded. But once you upgrade it, it's 2 mana for 12 damage each and a prismatic mana. The value of that prismatic mana is exponential because there's so many things you can do with that mana that you could not do with black or green mana. Right? Prismatic mana has lots of special interactions. It gives you lots of other effects. You can do. I did do once a silly turn where I played out a full Rose Hell, and then with the prismatic mana that I got, I played out a Rainbow Star Blast for full, and just blasted down someone from 300 health to death in 1 turn. It was beautiful.
My gods.
Oh yeah, no, like Rose Hell is an incredible enabler of a card. it makes some very strange combos that are not possible in other scenarios happen, right? There's too many to list. And notably, even its floor is still plenty powerful, right? Would I play 4 mana to deal 18 damage and gain 2 green mana? So really pay 2 mana for 18 damage to each enemy. Yeah, I would pay 2 mana for 18 damage. Heck, I would play 3 mana for 17 damage to each enemy. Like, and this is better than that. So I will absolutely play Rose Hell. Now, is it actually better than Last Romantic Night Call? Obviously, I think if you play Last Romantic Night Call for free as a follow-up card, I think that Last Romantic Night Call is better. And but otherwise, I think Rose Hell is actually an incredible card with an incredibly high ceiling, right?
Stupidly good, feeds in on itself. Really no notes. It's just a very solid card in general.
Yep.
And so it's totally defined. I don't think I need to like go on about with any useless analysis and what's bad about it. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yep. Sleep in Miasma. It's an upgraded basic card. It's reliable, right? 2 mana, same cost, 1 neutral, 1 black, deal to 10 damage. Apply 5 poison. Poison is interesting. Poison means at the start of their life, they take damage equal to how much poison they have, and then they lose 1 poison. So 5 poison represents first 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1 damage. So if you get the full turn count, it's worth 20 damage. So this card actually says pay 2 mana, deal 30 damage over 5 turns. Now, I don't value that super highly. I really want to kill the enemy now. Now, this is nice in boss fights. It is nice to apply poison in a consistent manner and then do it all the time. But if you upgrade it, it gets a really funny line of text. It replaces the apply 5 poison text with apply 6 poison to each enemy. And now the damage gets out of control. I think as a base card, it's just reliable. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a neat damage card. It'll help you push damage. It's nice. There's nothing wrong with it. As an upgraded card, I think I'd move it all the way over to powerful. Now, you can't guarantee that. While it is a very cool upgrade, it's not an upgrade that like wins you the game, right? So I can't justify placing it in powerful. But I do think it is at the top of reliable, only really below Satellite Illusion, where I think Satellite Illusion is better as a base card and but worse as like you never upgrade Satellite Illusion. You never spend your upgrade on Satellite Illusion. But you will absolutely upgrade every copy of Sleeping Mines UK if you can get away with it, right? If you don't have a more important upgrade to do, you absolutely upgrade every Sleeping Mines that you see. Now, if I had a category for something between reliable and powerful, that's probably where I would put Sleeping Miasma. But since I don't, I'm putting it on top of reliable. Easy notes.
It is very reliable. It is a engine in Poison that you don't have to dig into yourself to begin with. It just exists on its own, and it just does its damage on its own fine without any problems. You are very happy about that at any and all times, when a card is just batting for its own value without you having to develop into it. Poison Engine, like Time Pulse, or like any other analogous DOT, really digs into itself very fast. And going off of that as well, especially, the other big things to note as well is how, what's his face? You kind of get a huge buffer on that upgrade too, like D3 was saying, of just how on Raw, it goes from being a really good just shredder of a single enemy slash boss to pulling its weight so much so in hallway fights. Granted, it's not winning you the hallway fight immediately, but it allows you to go from, okay, this hallway fight's kind of a pain, to, okay, I get to put the hallway fight on a 2-3 turn time limit, essentially then. Which is fine.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. It's too slow for me to call it powerful, but I love it. I take it when I see it, you know, like.
Again, it's just a solid engine. It's not even no, it's right. It's a solid card that doesn't need an engine. Is what I was trying to say right there.
Makes sense. Next up, Park Blossoms.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, it's a 2-mana card. 1 neutral, 1 black. Deal 10 damage to each enemy. It's at rate, right? It literally is a regular card, except it says each enemy. and has a special piece of text, Instinct. If an enemy intends to attack, gain 10 block. So there's 2 conditionals on it, one of which is just, oh look, they're attacking me. Well, I might as well get block. But it has to be on the leftmost or rightmost edge. That doesn't... It's easy to do, but not all the time, right? It is a better... It is noticeably better than the base card. I have to acknowledge that it's better than the base card. It's good enough that there are times where it feels really strong to be able to attack each enemy and also get some block at the same time. But you can't reliably get the block, right? But I mean, hey, 10 damage to each enemy is 10 damage to each enemy, right? I like Firework Potion sometimes, right? And I would argue it's better than Firework Potion a lot of times just because it's cheaper, right? Does that make it a super powerful card? No, it's just good. It's nice. You like having it in your deck, but you're not fiending for it, you know? It's okay.
Yeah.
Rely. Unlike one of my favorite cards in the deck, I can't justify putting it above into powerful, but I want to so bad. You gotta know. Sin of the Black Horse. Sorry, Sin of the Black Pegasus. They've upgraded its name since I had it in here. Ooh, good to know. Anyways, I love this card. It is 3 mana to deal 10 damage to each enemy 2 times. So, at a floor, it is pay 2 neutral, 1 black, and 1 life. You'll deal 20 damage to each enemy. Yeah, I'll play that. And its upgrade is very notable. 3 mana to deal 10 damage to each enemy 3 times. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, unfortunately, as much as I like it, I have to put it at the top of reliable and not the bottom of powerful. Why? Well, if I look at Black's Romantic Nightcall, it's also accurate, right? Which matters a lot. If I look at Heart Blossom, it's just a damage stick. There's nothing else that it does. Sins of the Black Pegasus is in that same ballpark where it just does damage. And it does decent damage, but not amazing damage. So I'll never discount it, and it does take buffs really well. But it's just a good card, right? It's reliable, you're happy to see it. Top of reliable even, but not amazing. I personally wonder why it exiles and why you lose 1 life when you play it. It feels kind of strange to me as a card design, I will say. It feels like there should be some other synergy that happens with it, and sometimes there are exile synergies in like Black-White Ursa, for example. There are exile synergies that you can look into. But if you're not in Black-White, then you don't see a lot of those synergies, right? It is specifically Black-White that cares about that, right? So outside of that, like, I can't justify giving it a higher rating than just reliable. Would you all say that's fair?
I was holding my breath to at least win a 50-50, and I did, so we're fine. No, it's good. It is... I put it on the Winston based on Avoid Oni Spirit Bomb. It is just a wonderful at-1 killer for the fact that just serves its purpose. Die immediately when it comes to. In fact, it's especially so for combats. You're essentially weighing the benefit of, is the 30 damage worth the little bit of life that I would be gaining or losing when it comes to it? And absolutely, more often than not, it is. It just does well. It is the straight push forward button.
Alright, next up, Wheel of Misfortune! I mean, okay, so... This is a card I love sometimes, and I hate other times. It's never awful. Oh wait, yes it is. Its floor is 3 mana to deal 12 damage 1 time. Except you need to remember we are playing on Insanity 7, which means we are guaranteed 1 misfortune in the deck that you can't remove. So its actual floor is not what it says here. It's actually 3 mana to deal 12 damage twice. Is that good? It's not bad. It's fine. It's on rate. It's fine, right? Would I play 3 mana to deal 24 damage? Yeah, I would. But there's better versions of that in several places, notably in Black-Red and White-Red, and Black-Red and White-Black. There's better versions of this that are more consistent. They have a higher hit count for a similar mana cost. So a lot of the times I put it on this border between inconsistent and combo. If you get there with Misfortunes, you love this card, right? If you have like 4, 5, 6 Misfortunes in your deck somehow, right? It's a really funny build. And 3 mana to deal 60-something damage feels amazing, okay? Like, but Misfortunes are kind of bad in this game. A lot of them have very deleterious effects, right? And it's worth mentioning that like Misfortunes are negatives. In a lot of ways, what I look at it is it helps save a run that it has landed into a bunch of Misfortunes that I haven't been able to remove for some reason. And Scry is nice for helping bypass some of that, and it is black, so that means it does have lots of Scry somewhere in the card pool. So I don't take it when I see it, unless I happen to have a lot of Misfortunes already in my deck. But I'm never exactly unhappy if I happen to grab one for free, right? It
is an empowered strike that just kind of gets to exist, which is, on one hand, it is absolutely not a problem on its own, but on the other, it is bound by the character and deck convention that you are looking at and playing, because it is preventative versus reactionary ways to deal with those Misfortunes. Preventative being if you can stride through or so when it comes to it, with any black, which you would already be in, of course, then. But then reactionary would be is if you are playing blue, or if you have blue in any way, so you can immediately just scope in, scope out, discarded, exiled, or so, or any way when it comes to it then. So it depends on how well you can utilize it. And I feel this especially has its value go up or down when it comes to, because if you're playing Marissa, well, Scrying is there throughout everything that you have or so. And there's also a few ways that you can actually get rid of cards or so. You have a Devil's Codex to exile a card and draw a few. You have the Recycling card that lets you exile a card to just gain some mana, etc. Whereas Toishi has the one card that deals more damage and does more hits based on how many Misfortunes that you have, for instance, going on or so. So it's two different extremes on how you're trying to balance those Misfortunes, and also you're up to RNG on what Misfortunes that you get. If you get like Jealous from Parse, that's not bad as compared to, well, I need Misfortunes, so why not get in a bar fight and get 2 Drunts?
Yeah. Is it a bad card? No, I don't think so. But is it a reason to get Misfortunes? No, I don't think so. But it's just, you happen to have it, and it will work out. It's fine. And yeah, fuel for an engine. Boundary of Life and Death. When this was first printed, I had it on the border between reliable and utility. It is a 2-mana card, one neutral, and 1 black-white hybrid mana. So again, hybrid mana being where you can play either of them. So it can be either 1 in a white or 1 in a black. Deal 8 damage 2 times. Growth. Increase damage per hit by 1. At the end of the player's turn, if her life total changes that turn, return Bounty of Life and Death from the discard pile to the hand, and it temporarily costs 0. So, that's a lot of text. That basically reads, this does 16 damage, and then 18 damage, and then 20 damage. It is also very frequently just that. You can't really guarantee that you'll get a lot of life out of this mid-turn. If you do have ways to gain life mid-turn, like with concentration, or some of the Marissa skills that like regenerate you life in the middle of the run, then those are red cards first, right? It's kind of hard to get this going. Now, its floor is fine, right? 2 mana do 16 damage is a perfectly reasonable floor. There's nothing wrong with it, right? But the growth rate is not such that like you can really build a deck around this, right? It's just like, oh look, it got a little bit better. Oh look, it got a little bit better. You know. That being said, if you are in a deck that can play this for free because you are gaining life mid-turn, or at the end of they changed the text, right? At the end of the player's turn. It's free once, right? And then it cycles and it's free again, and then you just keep going. Like, you're never gonna have an engine built around this. Like, you don't make decks that have engines that can build around this. Because, like, life gain doesn't win you the game, right? killing the enemies wins you the game. This is an enabler for a life gain deck to do what it wants to do, but it's not accurate, so it can't bypass any of that any Braze nonsense. And it's not area damage, so it can't bypass a lot of the area effects enemies that are like the multiple enemies like Terminators or Fluffies or Crows that are the really dangerous enemies in the game that frequently cost you multiple HP points. So like, what does it really do? It's really most of the time just a nice attack card that sometimes can get big. That puts that reliable to me, but there is a use case for utility because worth noting, life total change can also means you took damage. Now ideally you're not taking damage. It will happen sometimes, you can't avoid it, right? And in those scenarios it will feel a little bit better, right? Where it's a free 16 damage, but that's all it is, at best, free damage, right? Oh well. We've seen plenty of cards like this before, and many of which have effects that are easier to proc, like Scrying, I would argue, is easier to proc than this, because you don't want to be intentionally losing life just to get this to proc off, right? It's not that valuable. Like, you only ever get this value in turns where it's like, well, that sucks. As the consolation prize, I get Boundary of Life and Death. To me, that puts it in reliable, right? It's a reliable consolation prize, or a reliable upside, but it's never like an engine in its own right. It's not powerful, and its use case doesn't suddenly magically change if you do end up in a life gain deck. You just get marginally better. It would be different if every time you gained or lost life, it got this effect, but it's only at the end of your turn. So it's at best happening once per turn that you can get that extra free attack. So that's my take.
I'm pretty much on the same mind when it comes to it here, with the fact that you really have to be digging around for finding stuff like Sin of the Black Horse or so, or you need to find Necromancy, or the fact that it has to have another card on its own front to be able to make its own worth. When you don't, or when there's not like, it's not like you can just like life tap yourself really to begin with to do anything on that own end. It really drives the value of it innately down compared to other scaling cards that kind of do their own thing.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, especially as a rare, yeah, like, they're uncommon. As an uncommon, it's just like, you could see something better. So, for example, you could see this unknown card. So this card is special, and by special I mean special ed. It damages my heart knowing that I have not seen this card somehow, right? Because I like this card. What is this card? Say hello, everyone, to the utility card known as Trial of the Wicked Hermit. So, Trial of the Wicked Hermit is a 3-mana card, two of neutral and hybrid, white or black mana. It's a damage card, deal 18 damage, but it also has Expel. Expel means when you cast this card, or when this card is exiled, you permanently upgrade a card. That's a neat trick. Now, it's upgrading the cards is hard, okay? That's probably what I want to say about that. It would be different if it was a... Oh, thanks for the hat, Pokey. And thank you for my hat, Pokey. Goodbye, hat. If I'm looking at Trial of Wicked Hermit, I'm like always happy to see it, and I'll grab it. But... thanks for the hat, Pokey. But it's like... It's not powerful. It doesn't upgrade all of the cards in my hand. That is a thing, right? There are cards that upgrade all of the cards in your hand, or that upgrade them without you having to do any conditional effect, or that upgrade every card you'll have in your deck for the rest of the fight, right? Upgrading one card permanently is okay, right? It's very good upside, mind you. Like, you're very happy to see this, right? Now, this is a specific wording on Expel, just because I know people asked for it. The specific wording on Expel is this activates when this card is used. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood what Expel was. Activates when this card is used to defeat a non-summoned enemy. Sorry, my bad. You're having to jump through several hoops, right? You're having to hope that you draw this at the right time. You're having to hope that you are killing the enemy with it. But that being said, you will go out of your way for this, right? Because upgrades are kind of rare in this game, the opportunity to get a kill with this and get that free upgrade is so massive that I have to put this in the very top of utility tier, right? Especially if you ever get a chance to upgrade it and you just have to do more of the same, right? It feels good. Now, if it feels so good, why is it not powerful? Well, because on its own, it's kind of a do-nothing card, right? Like, it does damage and that's it. And it does damage at what's barely on rate, right? So I'm always happy to see it, and I'll probably take every copy of it that I see, but it's not a bomb that will turn around my run and make my run so much better.
It is... I actually rate this very lowly. And it is for a few weird reasons. Let me explain it out. This is analogous to Lesson Learned from Slay the Spire, which is a Watcher card that is about the same thing. Deal, I think, 13 damage unupgraded. Whenever you kill a non-summon enemy with it, upgrade a random card. Wording is different. Choose a card to upgrade in your deck versus upgrade a random card. But the thing is, Lesson Learned also, I think, is a rare as well, too. Is this one a rare?
Yes, it is.
Here's the problem. Lesson Learned you can just find as any rare. Evil, whatever, it's the one, alright, the one that you have here. The colors. It's white, black.
Yeah.
Nobody starts with that naturally. Whereas you can get that literally frame 1, floor 1, and Slay the Spire. It's great,
You know what?
but it is so buffered by the fact that you are guaranteed to only get it at the very minimum Act 2, Fight 1 onwards.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's completely fair. You're seeing it at the earliest after your early game happened. And no, you're right. That's fair. That does make it a little bit worse because now the timing is narrower, right? Because now you're having to fight the harder enemies that have more health, that have more defenses, right? Then you also need to specifically hope you have it in your hand at the correct timing to get the thing. I mean, I do think it still feels amazing when you do get to play it correctly. But a lot of the times it's just a dead card in your hand, right? Where it's just a brick that you don't get to play because you're trying to save it for the greed.
Because again, it's a strike more. Yes, it's a strike that does a little bit more, but if you're not getting the value for what that strike does a little bit more...
Yeah. Yep. Now, that being said, it is technically above rate. 3 mana for 18 is okay. Not good, okay. Right? We hope for better, but it's fine. There's a reason I put it in utility, because, like, I don't think every deck wants this, right? I think there's actually a lot of decks where it's like, you look at your deck and you go, I have all the cards I want upgraded already upgraded. I'm not going to take this into my deck, right? You skip this, absolutely, if you have a well-upgraded deck somehow. Like, if you have, like, a nice, clean 15-card deck that's, like, all potion generation or something, and all your potion generators are already upgraded, and, like, all of your other cards are just, like, random blocks that you have, like, does this matter? Does this card suddenly get really good? No. Right? Like, the type of deck that wants this is kind of rare. I could see an argument for it being bottom of utility, I think. I maybe, but I'm gonna move it lower, is what I will do. I think that's fair to move it a little bit lower on the utility tier. I think it is still, I don't think it's bad. It's not actively terrible. But maybe I think you talked me out of valuing it so highly. I completely forgot about, like, the timing of it.
Yep, it is a weaker utility when it comes to it, unfortunately.
Now the real magic would be, where the heck is it? Labeling the... I get after my students all the time for not labeling their layers, right? Here's the consequence, right?
Cries.
Look at this. Did I? I did name this card. Oh gosh, I did name it. Oh no! I didn't read the other failure. Failing to read.
You can't be doing that in this day and age now, D3. You can't be doing that.
Pain Pecco. Speaking of not reading, here's a card I hate reading. 8 mana, daytime guest stars. 8 mana, 6 of any color, 1 white, 1 black. Deal 25 damage to each enemy twice. If the draw pile is empty, daytime guest stars cost 0 mana to play. Accurate. I have it as one of the few truly bad cards in this game, even upgraded. And I know that if someone, like, just reads this card and goes, what? But D3, it's so cool. You love area attack accurate cards. Like, you rate all the other ones so highly. Yes I did, because they're better than this one is. All right. So for almost half the mana, you could have played Last Romantic Night Call. Oh wait, hold on. Last Romantic Night Call is free when you play a follow-up card. If you play as a follow-up card, there are tons of cards that let you play a follow-up card. If you're in follow-up Koishi, you're gonna see them, right? You will absolutely index into follow-up Koishi to see more cards like this one, right? But once again, Daytime Guest Stars is another white-black card. So it's another card that you can't plan around seeing this card. And the thing is, one, it's a rare, and it's white-black. So like you specifically have to see it after you've already like upgraded sorry, not upgrade, receive a relic in a color that you don't have at least once, right? And on top of that, its requirement is difficult. The draw pile is empty. That only happens very specifically if you have drawn exactly the number of cards needed to not draw an additional card. Because what Lost Branch Reflection does is if you ever draw to your last, if you ever need to draw and your draw pile is empty, it is guaranteed to reshuffle your discard pile into your draw pile, right? Daytime Guest Stars basically never procs. You are never in this weird... It's incredibly difficult to manufacture the situation where you get to, like, go through all of your draw pile, play out all of your cards, get your last card in to draw, so it's exactly one draw, and now you're out of cards in your deck pile, and now Daytime Guest Stars is free. It doesn't happen, right? And yes, the floor is pretty cool, but how many decks do you think can play 8 mana worth of card? Not many, right? You have to be in an incredibly narrow deck to see Daytime Guest Star, to have Daytime Guest Star C play. Because either you're in an extremely powerful Scry deck, in which case you could have been playing something with Scry instead, that actually does more for less mana, or without all the setup time requirements, or you could be into a mana generator deck, which if in black is kind of hard unless you're potions, and if you're playing potions, it's almost impossible to play potions and this card at the same time, by the way, because like with potions, they draw you automatically. You can't control them, right? Once you draw them, it's done. They send them. I've tried to make this card work so many times, right? Because I've seen it 6-7 times now, and every time I'm like, this is a brick in my hand. Once I got to play it for free, and at that point I would have won anyways, because I already had a hyper powerful Scry deck with extremely powerful Scry payoffs. This wasn't it. This was just more upside on top of everything else. Don't play this card.
It is way too high value. Again, white-black. I've seen conversations go around of like, yes, it's white-black, it's the one natural mana combination that we don't have yet, but when Alice comes around, well, we're rating it when she's not come around yet, people, so... Not equivalent argument here.
Yep. It's bad. Don't take it. Feel bad.
You have to devote so much to it right now that there's no reason to. There's really no reason for you to have to try to go out of your way. Plus, also, just for the convention itself, if you want to tune how much that you are drawing or so, you have to be playing Satya with Trick Bullets on one hand, or you'd have to be, or what's his face then? You would have to be, like, playing Reimu potentially to maybe get cards that let you draw specifically 1, 2, or 3, or like small, tiny hitbots, not tiny hitbots, like Ascension Kick or just a few others like that or so, but that's still going out of your way to do something, which takes a lot more effort than just having any other natural engine.
Yeah, it feels a lot of ways to me where it's like, if there was a white-black character that started off with significant card draw or card selection and could control their deck a lot tighter, I think this card would be pretty goated for that character specifically.
Now, granted,
you're never gonna be able to.
I'm sorry, go on.
But you're never gonna be able to index on accident into a deck that can play this. Like, you kind of need to deliberately build your deck under the assumption that you'll run into this card at some point.
And then again, too, yes, there is absolutely the argument again of, well, Alice is coming, and yes, she is coming soon enough, but we are still not rating with Alice considered at all right now. Because considering how the dolls are being propped up to be kind of like the defect, which is inside the Spire, which absolutely can manipulate card draw and do a lot of weird funky ass shit. Fact is, still not here.
Yep. Which leads to Fall into Poverty. So Fall into Poverty is part of a cycle of cards that are in every color pie, where they have some downside, either a life cost or they cause you to discard a card, but they deal 10 damage twice for 2 mana and are accurate. They're all good cards. Now, they're not amazing cards. I would argue in many ways this is the worst one. Money is kind of a precious resource. It's kind of difficult to get a lot of money, and it's very possible for you to drain your bank playing this card over and over again. But sometimes you just need an early game card that has accurate on it that you'll get rid of later, because you get better cards that can do the job. This is a very efficient way to handle crows, and that's about it. It's a utility card. You only take it to handle crows, or to handle other evasive raised targets. Otherwise, you skip this card. You don't take it. Because outside those scenarios, it's not enough damage that you're like, oh my gosh, I see Fall into Poverty. I'm suddenly so strong. I kind of wish it had a stronger effect for how deleterious the losing 5 money is, but it's okay, right? Like, it could be a lot worse.
I am actually more fine with this card when it comes to it, honestly. Because 5 can be a lot worse, but I feel like when you start, if you're trying to think about it in like greater scheme of like, yes, I'm gonna argue Artifact Watch when it comes to it, but you can easily, but if you're taking the quest line to start to begin with, you're already getting 15% more money from just the glasses on its own. If you have ways to generate money on its own then, so like oil barrel, etc., stuff like that or so. And also, yes, you are spending it in one way, but people have played around Ectoplasm and Slay the Spire, which is you are not getting any more money for exchange of like more energy and stuff like that. Like, it's just like, you have to be cognizant about it, and it is a huge brick when it comes to, but the break point for being able to do something with your money at minimum is 25 bucks to upgrade a card at a campfire. That's the bare minimum that you're really aiming at.
Yeah, but it also probably means that, like, you're gonna have a harder time doing that. Like, it's not the worst card ever, right? I do think it's usable. I don't think it's bad. I should clarify that early on. It's a utility card, which should take some time, because I think it has good utility. But yeah, that's also fair. Because like, if you see it at the end of the game, it's like, well, I'm not using my money anyways. Fuck it, play the card, right? It's good enough to just play it. That's just a decent damage pump, right? It's double rate, right? It's 20 damage for 2 mana. That's double our rate. That's really, and it's accurate. It's really good. But I really don't like losing money. Losing money bad. I think if you want to argue that it's a reliable card and not utility card, I would understand the argument, to be fair. Right, so if you want to argue that, I can move it.
Yes, I was gonna say, this is the first time I've ever lost a clown piece ever in my career.
Oh,
I just didn't have high burst when it comes to it then. Rather, my only one burst was Evil Exterminate, but I didn't have too much more on that side for a bigger cast outside Wild Exorcism, and that's just how it goes.
Alright.
Oh no, my game's freezing again, because it's ended.
Oh,
I was gonna say it is 11, so I probably was gonna turn off my stream side soon enough then, because I want to chill. I don't know how long you're still gonna keep going.
I think I'm just gonna face the black cards, which is I have like 8 cards left. I could go on longer, but I want to do the tournament runs. Damn it!
No, I mean, I'm gonna send my side to yours, of course, when it comes to, but I'm still gonna chill here for your argument's sake. Because fact is, I'm just a girl here, just handing out and taking the money, and you're the one explaining, hey, you're the artist and everything. I just look good.
Fair enough then. All right. Well, we have 7 cards left, so let's get into it. Devilry Light Ray. I don't think this card's in the game yet.
Oh, also, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
What's his face? Fall into Poverty. You actually can't play it if you don't have the money. Hilariously, too.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know.
Nope, it literally stops you. It says you do not have the money to play it. Very small thing, but it actually can be a problem.
Yeah, bricks are bad. Utility. There's my argument for it being utility. Nice. Alright, Devilry Light Ray. Okay, so this is another secret potion, right? Or potion motif, right? It is free. It deals that 15 to 16 damage rate. It gives you energy. Cool. It's also innate. That's really cool. It exile itself. That's a little bit less cool. That's just a nice card, right? Like, you're never like there's a part of me that calls it powerful, right? Because it's just free damage. But I think once you upgrade it, it goes from being reliable to powerful. And I do think that like having an on-demand turn one way to neutralize the late night is really nice. Okay. Now, unfortunately, there's no one that naturally starts with blue black. So usually by the time you see this,